All right, hello and welcome to Sanctums and Spies. This is our 10th session with our currently still unnamed party, but that may change as they get in and get going here. Now moving from Asarius to the Dwendalian Empire. But before we get into a recap of the last session, a little bit of housekeeping to take care of at the top of the session. Excuse me. Music. We use music from a couple different places. Filmmusic.io is one of those places. Any songs that we use from filmmusic.io, we have the information for all of those songs down in the panels, including links to filmmusic.io website where you can get more information, listen to the music yourself, or pick up licenses if you'd like to use the music. Also use music from the official Critical Role soundtracks. Welcome to Wildmount and welcome to Taldore both. Those also have links down in the panels where you could purchase those albums if you would like. Highly recommend all great music to accompany us here in our adventures. But speaking of the adventures, actually, I guess before the recap, is there any lore drops that we want to do for advantage before the session gets started? I know some players were holding off on stuff. Is there anybody who'd want to drop that before we get going? Okay. Keeping secrets. So hopping into the recap, we finished up the group's time in Asarius with starting the last session underground after visiting the first temple beneath Asarius, a find that had been kept secret from most of the city itself, but was brought to the attention of Lady Zethris, and the group had headed down to interface with the those who had been working on the dig there to see if what the group had found in the Creeks neighborhood matched up with the first temple and what was going on down there. To get the music here. There we go. Get that a little bit lower. While down there, the group decided to head into one of the rooms that still did have some magical enchantments in it, and decided to test out the bracers and see if they had any effect on the enchantments down in the first temple, which there was. And after a fight with an ancient construct and an arcane cannon, the group went a bit of ways into the staircase that was being guarded. And after finding it to be a dead end and some burrowing by the new druidic powers of Udia, the group found their way into a tunnel where there was some more murals, not quite as grand as what was seen in the Cretes neighborhood, but that had an interesting figure that Acacia had decided to send a sending spell to, and surprisingly got a response back. After getting a little bit more information and getting a little bit creeped out, the group headed back up top to find that most of the dig team had been killed. That there was one of the psychometrists who had fallen under the influence somehow of somebody who was behind the scenes working against what the dig team was doing and what the party might be doing. And in a moment of getting the leader of the dig team to safety and heading back up to pass on everything that had happened down in the temple, the group headed back up, talked to the helpers, and discussed what had been found. That Lady Zethris had indeed kept up her end of the bargain and took out the human trafficking, or humanoid trafficking, I should say, that was going on at the Nadro estate. And then in talking with Lady Zethris, had communicated what had been found, along with the intentions of the group to go after one of the locations on a map, large mural of Exandria that showed 4 different locations, one of which was Asarius. The group decided on the Zemni Fields and the ruins of Schottengrad, the closest location to where they were currently at. And after a last night of revelry at the Tough Tusk Tavern, headed out, actually were teleported out by the cousin of the recent ally, Cathona Thalis, the Shadowhand, Essek Thalis teleported the group out of there. And with that, that is where we get brought back in today as the three of you who are here with us today feel that kind of gravitational pull, that kind of blinking in and blinking out of existence. You start to feel like time is gone. It is stretched out, and it is an eternity in an instant all at once. You feel the breath taken from your lungs. And as you start to finally feel yourself be pulled back into existence, you hear a loud pop and feel grass and brush beneath your feet. You look around and see not the whole group anymore. You see Professor Mayfield, Gloriel, and Winnie are here in the group with a very almost worried look on the Shadow Hand's face. As he looks around to the three of you, he said, Did you all hear that voice?
Question for the DM. How long were we underground before?
At the point you were underground before, it was a few hours overall for that period. Yeah, it wasn't.
Professor will just touch grass, but like literally touch grass.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
And he's like, well, at least we're outside. Where are we now?
And the Shadow Hand says, what's that?
Oh, bother. Something's gone wrong.
Yes, something has gone very wrong. We should be close to where the ruins are. I didn't want to put us right on top of it, but your friends are not here. The other three, none of you heard that voice.
What?
I don't think I heard a voice, no.
What voice? What did it say? Where are our friends? What have you done?
This has not happened before. Where? And he kind of takes a look up at the sky. I don't. Which direction?
The professor will put a comforting hand on Winnie's shoulder. Is Winnie taller than him? Will it be like this? Is he gonna have to reach off?
Surely. Small for a bugbear is still not small.
Yeah, small for so he puts a hand like he has like stretches out and tries to comfort you.
Oh bother! Where are our friends? Are they all right? What?
I'm sorry, I don't know. I will go try and find them.
Wait, I have a sending stone.
Do your friends have the other stone?
No, actually, never mind. I forgot that's not how it works.
Fantastic. Well then, I will go find them. And
in my younger years, I would have remembered that.
Of course.
These days, you know.
And he just has kind of a very hectic look on his face. He seems now like even more worried. Almost like you see a drop of sweat on the forehead.
Is this Essek that just did this?
Mm-hmm.
Essek. Come on, man. Do I trust him? I don't. Not at all.
Ooh, go ahead and roll an insight check.
Purpose? I don't trust him. Why would Winnie trust this dude? Where's we need our clerics? 15.
15, okay. He does seem nervous. It's almost it doesn't seem like he's being deceiving or that there was any intention behind what has happened. It almost seems like he's worried that there's something that interrupted what happened or maybe overpowered him during the casting of the spell. But he does look nervous. He certainly looks nervous.
What interfered, Essek?
Because I do not know. I heard a voice, and I have never had that happen while casting that spell. It seemed to stop the process. I'm going to go see. I'm thinking perhaps in teleportation there are specific ley lines of the body that are being used. I'm wondering if something got split. Give me a bit of time. Come back here in give me 12 hours maybe, and I will see about getting you back your friends. Sorry. And snaps his fingers and is gone.
This will not do. This just won't do. Where are we?
Yeah, now the three of you stand here. It's quiet, but you do hear animals and birds, the wind blowing through the grass. And the thing that is most noticeable here now compared to where you just were is the landscape itself. It's green. It's nice with lush trees. Compared to the wastes of Jorhas, this is, I wouldn't call it paradise or anything, but it is ideal. It is a very, very nice landscape. And as you look over, it's not like full, just straight plains. There is a little bit of elevation change and foothills, and in the distance, you can look and see in the far distance different ranges of mountains. But you stand now in the Zemni fields, the three of you.
What is this weird green stuff? Can you eat it? It looks like vegetables.
I mean, I can't eat it, but I don't know what you can eat.
I don't know either. Winnie tries to eat it.
It's a little bitter,
Oh,
doesn't need it stains your tongue a little bit.
might need some vinegar.
What time of day is it?
Currently, based on when the group left, I would say you left kind of towards the evening. So right now it would be about dusk. We'll say the sun's still
Can I
setting.
see the stars? I could navigate by the stars.
Not quite yet. Maybe just one or two poking out, but it's not like a full starry night at this point.
Let's see. I'm not great with survival. So
We need to find a place. If it's getting dark, I guess we need to find a place to lay up for the night.
can anyone help us navigate? In my younger days, I would have gotten us back. No problem. But I'm so out of practice these days that I don't really know where to start,
I don't know where I am.
Sorry, I would say we could do a group survival check here to see if you can at least orient yourself. I would say, Professor, given your kind of history and backstory, you could roll with advantage.
Okay, I will do that. Survival with advantage.
It's an 8 for Winnie.
Okay.
Hey, dirty 20. There we go.
Very nice. Okay.
15
Do you
for
guys
me.
not see it when I roll with advantage on the thing?
I think it just shows the
Oh
result.
no, it's right there.
Okay, got it. So Winnie, you kind of look around in awe and amazement, but have absolutely no idea where you're at or any way to gain your bearings here. Gloriel and Professor, however, you are at least able to get a good bearing on the cardinal directions. You can kind of look and tell, all right, north is this way, south is this way. You've got east and west with kind of lining up to the mountain ranges, and you can kind of at least, I would say, Professor, you can at least orient yourself with a dirty 20 to know you're in the range of where you're looking for. The ruins of Schottengrad, probably northwest of the ruins of Schottengrad, maybe towards Pride's Call. But beyond that, specific locations or anything would be a little tougher.
Okay. I'm going to convey that to the group by establishing the psychic telepathy. I always forget what it's called.
Okay. The telepathic connection.
For 5 hours.
Okay.
We have 5 hours of that.
Okay. So the next 5 hours, the group has telepathic connection.
Up to 1 mile. Pretty good.
Nice. Huh? How far are we from our goal? I guess we have to be back here in 12 hours. Go explore for a little bit and then come back and rest.
That could work.
So I'm afraid this is far deeper in the Empire than I've ever been, so I'm happy to follow your leads.
I've never been here.
Yeah, well, let's start going in this direction, and I point in whatever the survival check it tells me is useful.
Okay. What is the goal of the group? Is it to get closer to the ruins? Is it to just find a safe spot, or what is your direction?
Let's get closer to the ruins. And I say, well, I think the ruins are more or less in this direction.
Yeah.
Let's hope these old eyes are still, pretty good.
Yeah, it's getting late, and I don't know about you guys, but I'm a little tapped.
You know what? In that case, I do this motion. Oh, hi, Bernie. Let's go just find somewhere to rest for a bit, and I will try to take us in whatever direction the 20 tells me that is.
Okay. So I would say to try and find a good safe spot to rest a little bit, go ahead and roll a investigation or a perception check.
Can I help you with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
Help or guide? I can help with investigation or guide with perception.
Yeah, so you can either both roll or one of you can roll with advantage.
So I cannot guide you. I'm thinking of the wrong character.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll just then I'll do with advantage because I got okay. I have a 19, and if that doesn't work, I have a psychic thing that I can use if that doesn't work.
Okay, you said it was a 19?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So 19 is enough that you're able to start moving towards a direction of what you see is like a kind of a dip in the ground, some place where you can get some tree cover and maybe start a fire for the night with a little bit of cover. And I would say with a 19, the group, you guys travel for probably about 30-40 minutes and find a spot that looks pretty nice. It's in a little grove of trees. I will say at this point, let's do a group perception check.
Our clerics are gone. What are we going to do? 14 for me.
Natural 20 for a total of 25.
Ooh, okay, got it.
Lovely.
Nice.
The barbarian.
And a 19, but again, if I fail, I can do a thing.
Okay. So with that, as the group is kind of seeing this spot, this little tree grove, you see a couple little boulders here and there, some small, actually some medium-sized mushrooms. They look a little bit big compared to what might normally be in this area here. But as the three of you are kind of moving forward, I will ask, is the group trying to go quietly or just kind of traveling here through the
I would like to go quietly. I don't know if my companions are capable of that.
I don't know. Winnie's probably not capable of it, but she's going to try because she's fearful that she's never been here before. She doesn't know what this weird green stuff is. Suddenly she's not home.
Okay, so let's do a group stealth check then as well.
Ugh.
Oh.
17. That's disgusting.
Natural 1. I am going to use my inspiration.
Okay, hey, it's finally chance to use
I have
it.
lore drops I want to make, and I never my inspiration. I'm gonna do it now.
You know what? I'm going to use my inspiration too because I want better than a 17. I'm sorry.
I got 11.
28. That's better. That's the rogue.
I got an 11, which is good for Winnie.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
had 13, which is definitely below average for me, but it's okay.
Right.
Okay,
All right. I'll have
all right.
more drops for next time now.
Yeah, right.
And on the off chance that 28 is not enough, I have a psychic thing I can do.
Okay.
Credit.
So as the group is kind of quietly moving into this campsite spot, there is a everybody but Winnie with that natural 1 hears kind of a low kind of cooing noise. It's almost kind of hard to tell at first. It's kind of a
Is it the metagaming pigeon? Wait, no.
It sounds fairly close though, and likely moving in the direction of the group after just a couple of seconds, a second, almost responding back to it.
That does not sound good.
And it starts to go deep. And about 25 feet outside of the closest kind of range of trees here, you start to see a large feathered paw of this hulking beast start to move forward with its head low, kind of sizing up the three of you here in this area. As that's happening, you start to hear and you see off about 90 degrees off kind of the direction of this one, another one that is running, as you see two owlbears breaking through the trees here, going after the group. I think it's time to roll initiative here at this point.
Dope.
Owlbear.
Dirty 20. There we go. That's good.
Oops. 18 for Winnie. Owlbears.
Bring out the rear.
All right. Winnie was 18. How about the professor?
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. And Gloriel.
16.
16. Okay, got it. All right. Staring down two of these large beasts. Professor, you are up first. What would you like to do?
Okay. Which minifigure am I? Can you just point for me? So
Yeah. This one is you right here.
Got it.
L'Oreal
It's probably the most handsome one. All right. I'm going to just duck behind that tree on the left from the camera's point of view.
Okay.
And try to
Now I
hide
do want to
behind it.
point out one of them is kind of
I didn't
over
see
there, right behind that tree. So
then
that
I'm going to go
would
to
put
the
you
one
pretty
back
close.
and to the right and hide behind it, and then try to
Okay.
get us peek out and get an attack. So we do that.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's the 30 would put you kind of
Yeah.
out
Okay.
of that one over
So I'm just
there.
gonna hide real quick with my bonus action,
Okay.
which is a 13. Ugh. If I
Okay.
fail that, I actually can do a thing. So
Okay.
just which is all right. So then instead of a 13, it's a 16.
Instead of 15,
Which I think is
16.
better.
Okay, got it. So that is you seem like you're hidden, I guess I should say.
Yeah, and I'm gonna pop out and be like, surprise! Except I don't say that. And I'm gonna throw one of my psychic blades at probably the closest one because it's the only one within 60 feet, I think.
Okay. They would actually. I think they would both be within 60. Yeah, they both would be within 60.
Then I'll just take the one on the right from the camera's perspective.
Okay, got it. That one does seem to be a little bit bigger. The other one seems to be maybe juvenile in size, but the one on the right is a bit larger.
Okay. Whoops, that's not right. 13 to hit and a 22 to hit.
Oh,
That's
nice.
right.
Okay, the 22 will definitely hit. Both hit. 13 just
no,
hits.
it was just one it's just one attack. Sorry.
Oh, I see. Gotcha.
Yeah.
With advantage.
Okay, for a total damage of good sneak attack. 22 psychic damage.
Oh, wow, very nice. As this owlbear is starting to kind of circle the group, you hear as it takes
Again,
this psychic
conjuring
damage.
like the rust-colored psychic blade and throwing it. And but now I'm no longer hidden. So.
Correct. Okay, anything else for your turn?
No, that's all. I'm just gonna say, thumbs up, and then
Okay.
that's it.
Got it. Winnie, you're up next. Gloriel, you are on deck. Good initiative rolls today.
Hey, how far apart are the two owlbears?
They are 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There's 30 feet in between the two of them.
Oh, fiddlesticks. All right, let's go. Oops, I'm sorry.
You hear a magical tune pop into your head.
Well, we could use a bard, I guess. So.
Oh, me and technology. I'm so sorry. Let's cast Fairy Fire on the big one.
Oh, okay, got it. And that's a deck save of how much?
Let me look. 17.
17. Okay, let's see what we got the deck save. That is a failure.
It is fairy fired.
Cool. What does your fairy fire look like here as you cast this?
It looks like a drippy, honey-colored aura.
Okay, got it. Everybody looks over to the owl bear, and it just kind of lights up as when you cast the
The
spell.
professor like licks his lips. He's like, "Wow, that bear looks so tasty."
Yeah, there's almost like gold energy kind of dropping off, and as it moves, it kind of looks like it's pulling up golden tar off of the ground. Okay, anything else for Winnie? Any movement or anything?
I think Winnie's just gonna stand. She's gonna stand there.
Okay.
What she does.
Okay, got it. All right. Gloriel, you're up next. What do you want to do?
Well, first off, I would like to rage.
Got to pay that barbarian tax.
Absolutely. And then I am going to run up to the mama bear, and I am going to attack using Great Weapon Mastery, but not recklessly, because it doesn't have to be reckless.
Doesn't have to be. Yeah, Fairy Fire took care of that. Go ahead and roll an attack.
Oh, wow, those were terrible rolls. So with a Great Weapon Mastery, it's an 8.
Oh man, with advantage, that's tough. Unfortunately, that will miss. Yeah. So the owlbear sees you coming and kind of looks up to brace, and you swing down. And with its big body, it kind of like pushes forward into it and changes the angle, so you end up just hitting it with the flat of your axe.
And I will try again.
Okay.
Again, using the Great Weapon Mastery.
Got it. Yeah. Go ahead and give another shot.
Okay, that's a 23. That's a little.
That will hit. Yeah. Go ahead and roll some damage on that one.
Oh, this is going to be a big hit. Okay, so 27 slashing, 6
Whoa!
radiant damage, I believe.
Woo! So after
Total of 33.
Yeah, after that's a ton. After getting your axe kind of while in a rage, getting your axe kind of thrown off, you just bring it back around for another one and just boom, slamming it straight into the shoulder. You hear this loud roar. It's kind of letting out and bellowing with its full roar rather than just the kind of cooing that was coming from them communicating with each other. That started pretty bad.
That was a max damage hit with the not with the radiant, but with the main hit. Yes.
Okay, yeah, that was a big one.
Okay, and I'm done.
Okay, so it is going to be the owl bear's turns next. Mama bear is up first. That one is going to turn towards Gloriel, who just made a couple hits, and try and swipe back. We're going to do a beak attack first as it reaches out, trying to get a gouging bite at Gloriel. You can hear the kind of clicking of the beak, and that one is an 18 to hit. Would an 18 hit against Gloriel?
Oh, I was muted. I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh,
that
that's
hit.
okay. Okay, got it. Okay, so the first one is going to be a total of 11 points of piercing damage. That would be reduced down to 5 for rage. Then a claw attack for the second. That one's even better. 21 to hit.
That'll hit.
That one is going to be a total of 12 points of slashing damage, reduced down to 6 while raging. All right. And that one is going to stay engaged with Gloriel there. The other baby bear, however, is going to run down 25 up to Winnie. And is going to try and do the same. Seeing its mother being attacked, it comes out in a ferocious attack against Winnie, going for a beak attack first. And that is a 10 to hit on the first one.
Oh, aren't you cute?
Second one, that one is a 19 to hit.
Ah, that's my AC.
Okay. So that one is going to be 13 points of slashing damage as it rakes across, almost going past your shield and reaching down, scraping through with its giant claws at your leg.
Oh, not so cute. Bad bear.
All right, that takes us back up to the top of initiative with the professor.
All right, I'm gonna throw the first psychic blade at the glowing bear.
Okay, go ahead and
10 to
roll an
hit.
attack on that
No,
one.
it's 18 to hit.
18 hits. Yeah, go ahead and roll some damage.
Oh wow, 27 psychic damage.
27. Go ahead and flavor that fatality for me on this owlbear, because
Yeah,
that
so the bear,
is pretty
the bear
big.
is like pretty badly injured from being. What are you using? A great axe? You said.
Yeah, great X.
And so it's like kind of weak, and the psychic blade just goes through its head, and it's just like, or makes a weird bear noise and just lays down and is dead. It's just like I don't know.
And you get that headshot, and it's just Gloriel. You hear this loud, kind of almost weirdly ethereal thunk. But when you look, you see that the blade has already dispersed, and it falls to the ground dead. Anything else for the professor?
And then I'm gonna use some movement to get a little bit closer to Winnie, so I'm
Okay.
like 10 feet behind her, just in case. Because and I'm using my bonus action attack to fling the other blade at the one that's near her.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
It's a 16 to hit.
16 hits. Yeah, go ahead and roll some
There's no
damage on
sneak attack, so it's only 7 damage.
that. Okay.
7's pretty good at this level.
So that one, you almost hear a whimper from it as it watches the other owlbear die, and then turns to look. And as it turns to look at you, it kind of gets hit in the head with one as well. Doesn't make the loud roar that the other one does, but takes 7 damage. Anything else? Okay, got it. All right, Winnie, you're up next.
The little one is still alive?
The little one is still alive, yes.
Oh.
And I mean, littler, not little. Still, standing up on its back feet, coming up for an attack, just about as tall as Winnie.
We can't have a pet.
Well, the answer is you can certainly try.
Yeah, I'm not that good at animal handling. Oh,
I am. I'm pretty good at animal handling.
well,
Let's see.
all right. Well, maybe I'm just gonna. I don't know if I can cast anything that's gonna calm it down. Guess I'm just gonna. Oh, I don't have any kind of that kind of stuff. I'm just gonna try to talk to it. It's okay. Why don't you calm down? You can come with us.
Okay. Go ahead and roll an animal handling check, but I would say roll at a disadvantage because it did just watch its mother die.
Yeah, this is not going to work. Oops. No, it's not. 2. Natural 1 for a 2.
Oh boy.
Mad.
Yeah, you can't. You're not sure, if it took or not at first, and then it kind of gives 2 boom boom. Roar, gives like a loud roar right in your face.
Why don't you just go? Oh, now I feel bad. Oh no.
All right. Anything else for Winnie?
No.
Okay. All right, Gloriel, you are up next.
I look over at Winnie and I'm like, well, damn it, it is pretty cute. And I will run over and I will very recklessly reverse my axe and try to hit it with the butt of it to do non-lethal damage. Knock it
Okay.
out.
All right. Yeah. Go ahead and roll an attack on that.
It's a 24 to hit.
Yeah, definitely hit.
That's 14 slashing and 4 radiant.
14 slashing, 4 radiant. Okay, you kind of intentionally this time use the butt of the handle just against the skull, and you can see it kind of take a step and wobble a bit, and it's looking like it's feeling pretty close to knocked out, but doesn't quite do it on that one on its own.
And I flip the axe, reversing the hands I'm shoving with, and try to knock it in the skull again.
Okay, yeah, give me another attack on that.
It's a 22 to hit,
Okay.
and another 17 damage.
Another 17 damage, and this time you go and you go and it just and you feel this big thud on the ground as you do, and it is knocked out. Yeah, and definitely you now have a knocked out adolescent owlbear.
Well, I don't think it's dead, but the question becomes what we wish to do about it. Are we going to try to do something to make him friendlier with us, or are we just going to find a new place to camp?
One or the other.
I'll give it a shot.
That'll take it out of
animals,
that'll take us out of initiative at least here.
I worked with animals when a colleague of mine did her dissertation, so we'll see what I can do.
Try to remember what we learned about animal handling from the pits.
Yes, I'm going to give it a nice pillow, and if it's wounded, I can't treat its wounds. I don't know how to heal stuff, but
I can. If you want me to, I can.
sure, that'd help.
Okay. Do we want to secure it first before I wake it up?
I got some rope.
Okay.
Gonna rope it.
Okay, so we're tying up that's my owlbear here.
All right. And I will cast Cure Wounds.
Okay.
And I'm going to once it's healed and tied up, I'm gonna take out a ration with which like some dried jerky or something. I'll mark off a ration in a sec. And I'm gonna hold it under the nose, to like try to get it to wake up from the smell.
Okay. How much healing is done on the owlbear from Winnie?
Oh, let me roll that. It was a level 1 Cure Wounds, so that was 13.
13. Okay. So you do see some of the wounds start to heal up, mostly kind of some that had been open, even with the blunt damage from the butt of Gloriel's great axe. It did create some blood even in that hit, and that starts to heal up. And there's still dried blood on the feathers that is sticking there, but it does seem to be a little bit more healed. And just a second here.
Yeah, and while you talk to him, I am standing behind them as they do this, holding my axe ready to put it down if necessary.
Okay, got it.
And I'm just gonna pet it and hold the jerky under its nose and try to say kind things to it.
Okay, got it.
Use my grandpa voice.
Go ahead
Okay.
and
Okay, Lassie, I become Irish.
roll an animal handling check to get it to wake up with a jerky. Let's start with that.
Yeah, sure. That's a 16, and if it doesn't work, I have psychic stuff.
Okay, got it. Okay, so with the 16, you are able to wake it up, I'll say. And it kind of groggily gets up. I will say it does still seem to be angry right away, even with the 16.
I get it, buddy. Pretty rough situation, I know, but I got some jerky for you. Maybe this can help.
And you're offering it the jerky. All right, go ahead and roll just a general dexterity check as you put this meat out in front of the owlbear. 21? Okay. That's enough that, just barely, that you see that it starts with this big beak, right? We're talking like giant squid-sized beak. It starts to bite at you, and you drop the meat and pull your hand away just in time for it to grab the ration.
Easy.
Yeah,
Easy. It's
almost
all
lost a
good. I
finger
know.
on that
We're
one,
gonna
yeah.
we're gonna settle this. Don't worry. Shh. It's okay.
So still kind of just, and it looks over and just sees its dead mom still lying there, and starts to pull against the ropes here. And it's just going to roll strength check to see if we can break through. I did roll a natural 1 on trying to break out of the rope, so it is still in the ropes for now.
Okay. I gently pat it somewhere away from its teeth.
Okay.
I say, it's okay, boy, girl, whatever. It's okay, whatever gender identity you have. Look, I know. You know what? The past is the past. You can't do anything about it. It's very unfortunate. But maybe we could just all go our separate ways, because I'm not looking to kill any more wildlife than I really have to,
I mean, I will say you know as a professor at least that owlbears don't speak common, so
Yeah, but
it's
about
kind of
the
more
vibes. It's about the vibes.
calm noises. I'll say roll an animal handling check here at disadvantage.
Seven, but I presume that's a fail, so I'm going to use my psychic ability to try to boost it a little bit.
Okay, and how much?
I have a limited number of these, but it's fine. Oh, good, it's a 9. Well, that makes a huge difference.
Seems to still be, it's not able to like get up and move and turn around and fight, but it's obviously still kind of just biting out, trying to break free from the ropes.
Okay.
Put around it.
I tried my best. I vote that we leave, and it'll break out eventually, and we just leave and go somewhere else.
Well, should we heal the mom so they can be together?
I think the
look at-
mom may
I look
be
at the
beyond
mom.
simple healing.
with the giant
Yeah, I
axe
feel
wound in it.
that.
Does that look healable to me, TM?
You can roll a medicine check if you'd like.
I'm not really good with medicine.
I can try to heal it.
Yeah, you can certainly try.
You can certainly try.
Oh. How does it look to Winnie? Can Winnie look at it?
Yeah, go ahead and roll a medicine check.
She's not very good at that, but she'll look at it. 13.
13, it's pretty dead.
Oh.
Yeah, healing it at this point would not bring back the life to this creature. It might heal the wounds, but it would take stronger magic to actually bring it back at this point.
No, I feel bad. All right. I'm just going to leave it like half my rations and run away.
Okay. As the group is doing that and kind of finishing up here, you hear a very kind of light, raspy voice. Can you help me? Can you please help me?
Hello?
Who's talking?
Help! And probably about 40 feet off in the distance, one of those rocks that was in this little area, there seems to be somebody who is on the ground next to that rock.
Oh,
See,
heck,
we're
so
on the ground.
with the owl bears, we didn't notice that there were people around.
Yep.
I walk straight up to them.
Okay.
I'll be right behind you.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm coming too.
Okay, and the three of you walk up, Gloriel out front, and you see, as you get closer, a human woman. She seems to be wearing blue clothing, mostly with a little bit of green highlighted on it. But the first thing that you notice is a very, very bloody, injured arm and a gash that's been cut through the clothing on the stomach with a large wound beneath it. And as you get closer, she says, "Did you see any big reptiles? The owlbears, they were... can you help me, please?"
I take out a water skin and I offer some water.
Okay.
And as Gloriel's coming down from her rage, as she sees the human, her eye starts to twitch again a little, but she turns to Winnie, doesn't say anything.
Yeah, I'll run over. Oh, I'm gonna try to remember what Katie does, and I'm gonna cast Cure Wounds at 2nd level.
Go ahead and roll some hit points for that. See how much they get back.
14 hit points.
14. Okay. That's
Sorry,
enough.
I'm not cleric, but that's the best I can do for you.
And you can see them kind of close their eyes and start to breathe normally again. And then as they open their eyes and look at you, they start to look around. And she says, who are you? Seeing the kind of makeup of the group.
I'm Professor Morgan Mayfield. Nice to meet you.
I'm Winnie. I'm afraid we're a bit lost. You said something about reptile creatures?
Yes, there's these large reptilian creatures that were tracking the owlbears, and there was a group of me and my associates. We've been trying to come up from the ruins to scout out what the attacks have been, and they took out most of us. I'm the only survivor.
The reptiles were chasing the owlbears?
They were. I'm sorry. My name is Arceris. I'm a monk of the Cobalt Soul. I'm stationed at the ruins of Schottengrad, and there's been attacks recently. We sent a group out as part of it to try and figure out what was going on, and seeing the owlbears, we started following them around thinking that might be what was going on, but they were attacked by a large reptile. It was, and she kind of starts moving. It was maybe 6-7 feet from head to tail, 4 or 5 feet tall, and
but humanoid-looking reptiles.
No, these were like large lizards,
like a giant gecko.
They ran more like on 2 feet, and while we were watching, one of them attacked the owlbears. The others came and attacked us.
Do these sound to Winnie like the lizard people we had encountered previously?
I would say you can roll a history check to see if it kind of reminds you of anything or brings anything up in that way.
Because we encountered lizard-type people. History, natural 20 for a 28.
Natural 20 for a 28.
And
So,
how about the lizards?
yeah, it's a very interesting thing here because this description that this person is giving is not very humanoid, and in looking at the Kultivir and some of the scaled humanoids that the group had been looking at the history of, it doesn't seem to match that exactly. But with a natural 20 and a 28 total, what does kind of start to remind you is talks of the large group that was being gathered in Jorhos, the host, the things that were being gathered. It was mentioned that there were large reptiles as a part of that being brought in for whatever that large group was being put together for. And man, though that 28, it's not something that you can specifically identify and say, hey, I know what this thing is that you're talking about. But you feel hard-pressed to think it isn't connected, given that you just left one location that was marked on that map in the first temple and went to another one, and now there's talks of large reptiles attacking people.
Oh. Well, I don't know if it's related, but we're here also investigating some problems with some lizard folk and some misdeeds from other ruins, other sites that are similar to yours.
And she raises an eyebrow and has a very interested look on her face. Well, I saw a farm about a quarter mile north of here. It might be safer to try and take shelter there if they'll have us. These were very formidable creatures.
Okay, yeah, the ones we've dealt with weren't that large and were more humanoid, but I feel like they must be related. I don't know for sure, but yeah, I could use some rest, and you look like you could.
Yes, very much so.
I know these fellas back here are still spry. I need some rest.
Wouldn't say no to a bit of a rest myself. Gloriel, by the way.
Thank you. It is very nice to meet all three of you. Had you not come along, I fear I would have been the meal that the Albers were going after. And she kind of looks over to the one that was tied up, and you can almost see now this large gash that was on this one already. It's almost like this patch of blood on the back. And kind of looking over to it, she kind of acknowledges over, looks over and acknowledges that a bit. Says, I don't know what would be around here that would... I've never heard of anything like this. And she does have a little bit of a questioning look for the next part, but she just you say that you were dealing with reptiles before.
Well, we come from another place that seemed to have been infected.
Infected? Where did you come from?
Lizard people. Well, I don't know if I should say this, but you're looking at a freaking bugbear, so it's going to be obvious. We come from Jorhas. Well, I'm from Jorhas. Professor here is from your country, and Gloriel is also from Jorhas. But we have other members of our party who are also from your country. But it's not to do with that. There's these, as best we can tell, we don't know too much yet, some sacred sites that are trying to be overtaken by lizard folk for ill purpose. I don't know what, but certainly ill purpose. And we fought them where we came from, although they weren't like this, but I think it must be related somehow. I'm sorry, I'm not making much sense. Maybe after a nap, I'll make more sense.
Some rest in a safe place might be best. Right, perhaps we should move quietly. And she kind of stands up and stretches a bit, but still while holding some wounds in the side.
I'm going to redo the telepathy because I can include up to 3 other people. So
okay.
Just let me roll that for a second.
Well, that would be...
For 2 hours, not the best. By the way, you can hear my thoughts now. Sorry if this is weird. Okay, bye.
Oh, that's a neat trick.
It is handy from time to time. But yeah, maybe we can get a rest and compare notes.
Yes, well, I'll try and lead the way. And starts to move in the direction that she had pointed the farm north to those who had been able to get a bearing in the landscape. With that, let's have everybody roll a stealth check, and I'll roll 1 for the monk here.
26.
Ooh, Winnie's on a roll. Natural 20 for a 22.
Ooh.
15 for me.
Okay. Pretty good for everybody. So over the next, it's only a quarter mile, but over the next 20 to 30 minutes, the group kind of very quietly moves forward and in the direction that this monk is leading everybody. And after about 15 minutes or so, actually, let me ask too, what's the marching order here? If Arceris here is in the front, what would be the marching order?
I can be second or third. It's fine.
Yeah, Winnie, L'Oreal and protecting the rear, maybe.
Yeah, so I was going to say, I'll be the rear guard, keeping an eye
Okay.
behind us.
So we got
Squishy.
Arceus, Winnie, Professor, and then Gloriel.
Yeah, Professor's probably squishier than Winnie.
Gloriel, I'd say go ahead and roll a perception check then.
23.
23, very good. As you're walking after 15 minutes or so, you can start to see the farm in the distance, and you get a little nervous because you're not quite sure exactly how far, but maybe a couple 100 feet or so, you do hear kind of a bum, 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 quick running, and you turn to look, and you see just a large figure running through some like kind of tall grass tree area. It looks like it's not breaking through out into the open. But you
Is
see
it
something
on
large
4
moving
legs or
through.
2? How many legs?
Professor would have seen, but Gloriel, even with that perception check, it would be hard to tell. But it was a pretty big figure.
Got something coming up behind us, guys. It's not small either.
From behind? Oh,
And I will
Bob.
say it was moving perpendicular to the group. It did not seem to be moving towards the groups directly.
Right.
We're not being hunted, I don't think, but we should keep our heads on a swivel.
Now that it's been pointed out, does Winnie see anything? Do we?
You can roll a perception check to see if you see it as well.
Yeah, she's so good at that. 21.
21.
Nice.
Nothing different. Yeah.
Nothing
You kind of perk your ears up and take a look out to see if you can see anything.
We want to call out?
Yeah, the hair on the back of your neck starts to stand up.
All right. Winnie's got the sense God gave a goose. Oh, okay. The wizard's the chaos character. Who'd have thunk? Yeah. So okay, we'll just keep our head down and I'll just tap Arceus on the shoulder. What is that? Do you see that? What is that? What is that? What is
And
that?
she turns to look, and she says, "Maybe we should move a bit quicker.
Okay.
They might be tracking us.
Okay. Who's they? Who's they? Who is it?
The creatures.
What? That's a lizard creature?
Yeah, I told you they're quite large."
Oh no. Double time it, guys.
So the quiet but quick move towards the farm is had, and with everybody kind of crouching down but trying to move as quietly as possible. And as you get closer, you can see now this farmhouse is quite nice overall. It seems to be made of stone. It has kind of a central farmhouse area with a large barn out back, maybe 150 to 200 feet away from it, with a couple sheds. And looking out now over the property of the farm itself, you do see fields of wheat, fields of different, not quite sure exactly what next to the wheat, but it's something that grows not as tall. I would say if Winnie were to look, given her history and background, would probably recognize it as like an alfalfa. And then looking over some cornfields as well. Yeah, and it's huge.
Get it to grow so well. What's your secret? I'm gonna take notes. What are you using for fertilizer?
And Arceus kind of turns back and says, "The Zimni fields are the main area where agriculture is grown for the Empire. A lot of farms like this around here."
Oh, you guys have such great farms. You don't know how lucky you are.
And you hear off in the distance a loud and see cattle. Maybe for the first time ever, when he sees cattle and pigs, it's very kind of mundane animals compared to the beasts of Jorhas, where everybody was just at.
Oh, look how many pets you have. They're so cute and little.
And as the group heads up the road the rest of the way, the Arceus kind of moves forward and looks to the front door and says, "I see torchlight inside. Should we head in?"
Well, will they let us in?
We can try.
Okay.
I think
Maybe
the best
you
bet
should-
might just be to ask.
Yeah, maybe you should do the talking.
Oh, me? Oh.
That does seem wisest.
Understood. I will do what I can. And she kind of straightens up and tries to straighten out the kind of monk robes that she's wearing, and tries to like spends a lot of time where the blood is, and is almost like seems like there's like this futile attempt to maybe like wipe out some of the blood, and moves up forward to the door and gives a knock on the door. 20-30 seconds pass by, and finally somebody peers over just through a crack in the door. You hear a male voice coming out. Yes? Who is it? And Arceris speaks up. I am a monk of the Cobalt Soul, up from the ruins of Schattengrad. We've taken some damage from an animal attack, and could use a place to seek shelter and rest for the night. And a little bit of questioning look, and then looks out to the four of you, some of you covered in blood.
When he has her hood up on her cloak, so she's not.
Okay,
The professor just smiles.
First smiles. Okay, got it. Let's have let's see here. Actually, I'm gonna bring up this stat block.
And he's like, offer him some coin, Professor.
You know, if you let us stay for a bit, we could make it worth your while. And I jingles in just a discreet pouch of coins.
Okay. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check. I'll say how big was the bag of coins? What was the kind of like implied offer here?
Not really that big. I'm just hoping to be persuasive.
Okay, got it. Okay.
I do have 12 grandkids. I'm not really.
I mean, a few gold, a couple of gold would be fake.
Okay.
Anyway,
roll persuasion.
Roll the 20.
Roll the 20. Okay.
I don't know how rich they are here in this country.
The door opens up a bit, and then it's almost like there's some consideration, and it closes for a second, and you hear some mumbling on the other side, and then the door opens a little bit more, kind of all the way. And as it opens, you see here this human man who has a little bit darker complexion with black hair. It's not quite shoulder length. They're here in the doorway wearing like a light leather armor and a green cloak. And even here you can see on the other side of the doorway there's a bow that is kind of standing against the wall. He says, 10 gold and you can stay for the night.
All right. I'll cough up the 10 gold. Let me just take that.
Oh, that's more expensive than the fanciest inns in Thessarius.
Hey, Alexis, do you see any inns around here?
Wow, the people here must be rich.
Well, here you go. I hand over 10 gold.
Thank you. He takes it. You see him put it in a kind of take it, put the coins in a coin pouch and get out of the way of the doorway. And as he does, you see that there are two other people here in this kind of main entry room. You can see into it. So the front door here on the farmhouse, as it opens up, it goes into kind of like this main chamber, kind of almost like a seating hall, entertaining room with vaulted ceilings. And now that you can kind of step in here, you can see very nice wooden vaulted ceilings with large former tree trunks that have been cut down and now are large braces up here holding it together. It looks rather nice overall. And as you walk in, you see on the archway kind of in this right above the door where you walk in, and you see the name Gorbarin Farm and Ranch. And there are a couple little I would call them like sitting couches. They're not couches in like our modern term, but some wooden sitting benches with some soft pillows, some feather pillows on them. And you do see, besides this person who opened the door, there is two other people who are sitting in here. One who, on first glance, seems to be a half-elf woman. She has brown hair, and seems to be wearing some robes. Looks like she has kind of some kind of staff or walking stick that is laid across over her lap currently. There is also a half-elf man as well, wearing some studded leather armor. It kind of has a very stern look on his face. Has black hair with a bit of green dye in it, tan complexion that makes it look like they might be from the Menagerie Coast. But as you come in, they all kind of share a look with each other, and the one who opened the door initially kind of points off to the left, and you can see there's a hallway down with a couple of doors, and says, "We've got rooms that way. Just stay in them for the night, and we won't have any issues."
I assume for that price it comes with a meal.
And he just kind of looks unentertained by the question. Go ahead and roll a persuasion check for that one.
Winnie stands up to her full height and in the eye.
I'll let you roll an intimidation check if you'd like to, given
They're
the
saying,
posturing. Okay.
6.
6.
Winnie can't front.
He kind of says, "Well, we're not really a restaurant, so if you need lodging, it's 10 gold a night."
I'm going to leave a bad review for you.
L'Oreal is just gritting her teeth through all of this, and I mean, her hand is like Arthur's hand in that one meme.
Yes. Okay, got it. Okay. Does anybody want to interface with them at all anymore in here, or is everybody just heading to the rooms?
I'll just head to the room.
Okay.
And sort of bid them good day or whatever is polite.
Yeah, L'Oreal knows that it would be a bad idea to pick a fight here, so she's just gonna head to the room because if they're confirming every worst concept she has of humans, and yeah,
Okay.
she knows no good will come of her her talking with them.
I know, and Winnie's whispering as we go back to the hallway. They're so rude here. I can't believe it.
It's an
Let's just
outrage.
get some sleep. I can't believe they're so rude to tourists.
And as the group heads down the hall, Arceris kind of turns back to the rest of them. She says, "Thank you for the lodging. There are some very dangerous animals that are roaming outside currently. I would recommend you let everybody on the farm know. To go outside right now could potentially mean certain death." And the three of you kind of, or the three of them kind of share a glance with each other. And they give her a nod, and the guy who opened the door just says, "Okay." And she just kind of gives an odd look and turns and follows the group as well. And down this hallway, there are a couple of open doors. They didn't really give any specific directions. The first one seems to be kind of a washroom, but the next two are open. They do seem to be bedrooms, basically. The first one that you walk into, nothing super fancy. It's a bedroom on a farm. Even though the farmhouse itself is pretty nice. What's nice in here is kind of the furniture itself. The bed has a very nice like oak wood frame that seems to be very well crafted. Some very nice end tables. There is some bedding, kind of a feather mattress and some bedding over that, but it does seem to be kind of ruffled up, and overall it kind of just seems like a little disheveled in this room. There's this one here, and then looking at the room next, it's kind of a similar room, not as nice. Everything is a little bit smaller overall, but there does seem to be, some clothes. There's just some random stuff that these look to be some bedrooms of the family here. But I will say, as the group is kind of moving down the hallway, while some of you are looking at the rooms, you do hear kind of from that main room, the female voice of the one in robes saying to the other one, "Do you really think that's a good idea? And hearing back the familiar voice of the one who let you in. Shh, they'll hear you. But with that, you have 2 rooms at least that the group can use if they would like to rest for the evening.
I think we should stand a watch. I don't trust these people.
Yeah, I'm still not sure we're welcome. These people are so strange and they're so rude. I don't understand. Their farm is doing so well. How come they're charging so much?
I think because they can and because we're Jorhasians.
You think that was it? I think they'd be rude to anybody. I don't know.
In fairness, that's
I wouldn't
true.
worry
They
about it too
weren't
much.
particularly polite to their to the Cobalt Soul member, but
I think
She says and she does speak up and say, well, if it makes any difference, a lot of the farmers here in the Zimni fields aren't very excited about the Cobalt Soul anyways.
oh, dear.
It could have been me as much as it was you. This isn't a hotel. They might have just been cranky we showed up.
Well, that's not how we do things in the Cretes anyway. I'm homesick already. Yeah, I think you're right, Gloriel. I think we should stand a watch. Al can help too.
we don't have to be anything overt and make it clear that we're being aggressive or anything along those lines. Just someone standing up in the room. I think that should be fine.
And I need to stay up and work on some of those spells I bought anyway, so I can take the first watch.
I'll take second watch because I'm going to do some reading.
I'll take third watch then.
Okay. Got it. And Arceris kind of speaks up. I think I'm not capable myself. I need a full night's rest at least if I'm going to be able to make it to do any kind of traveling tomorrow.
Hey, Gloriel, what kind of music do you like?
I don't have strong preferences.
Okay, I'm going to think of a nice, soothing, like, violin, and I'm going to play it by just thinking about it, and then telepathy will mean she can.
Okay. Just for kicks and giggles, let's roll a performance check for your mind telepathy music.
I'm game with a 14. Yeah.
With a 14, okay. Yeah, Gloriel, it's a nice calming tune that pops in your head that is a memory of a rendition of a very nice Zemnian song.
My grandson wrote this one. Isn't he so talented?
That's really nice. I appreciate that.
Really great. I assume we're all just kind of staying in the same room since we're keeping a watch, which is fine by Winnie.
Okay. Yeah.
So she'll stay up. Does she have time to transcribe both spells or only one?
I believe off the top of my head, for wizards, it's 2 hours per level of spell. Is that right? Or 1 hour per? Yeah, 2 hours of a spell.
So 2 hours for 1, 4 for 2.
Yeah. So I would say if all 3 of you are doing a watch, we can kind of play loosey goosey with it and have it be a little bit longer to transcribe those if you would like to try and do that. I will say, let's see, you have 3 of you. Yeah, that'd be okay to try at least. Those are from scrolls, if I remember correctly.
From scrolls to level 1 spells.
Okay, so go ahead and roll an Arcana check to see if the first one is successful. Go ahead and pick which one you're doing first, and we'll see if that is successful to transcribe.
I'm going to try to scribe alarm first.
Okay, got it.
That is, a natural 20 for 25. I'm glad I'm doing it.
Wow. Very nice.
Yeah,
Definitely.
nice.
And you know what? Even with that natural 20, I'll say that you are able to, that gives us a perfect story reason to transcribe it with a little extra speed. And give a shot for the other one as well here. I will say also go ahead and roll me a perception check for the watch itself.
And she would have bamfed out Owl, who is a spider, and asked Owl to help.
Okay. Nice. I guess I should ask then, watch here in the room or go around the house and watch what's going on in the house?
She would have just had him sort of watching out in the hallway,
Okay, got it.
not spying, just watching for anything that might be coming
Okay.
in the hallway, just for protection. All right, her perception is now there's the natural 1 for a 5.
Okay, got it.
Man, I'm extremes today.
Right.
What's
That's
going
fine.
on?
How with D&D?
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay. Well, hey, better the natural 1 on the perception check, maybe, than the Arcana check for the second scroll. Let's go ahead and do that as well here, and then we'll conclude how everything turns out for this.
Okay, Arcana. 14 down the middle.
14. That is enough that you are able to transcribe that scroll as well, and you are able to add the 2 new first level spells to your spellbook.
Can she cast alarm before she goes to bed?
Sure, yeah, we could definitely do that. That could definitely be
perimeter around the room.
very prudent given the current situation.
Yeah. She wouldn't have tried to do them both at once, but she's like, oh, I feel like I want that alarm spell.
Yeah, for sure. Okay, and with a 1 on perception, Owl doesn't kind of give you a mental ping on anything going on in the hallway.
Probably.
And Winnie finishes her portion of the watch and gets to rest. Professor is up next.
All right.
And you said the professor was doing some reading this time? What is the professor reading?
Whatever I was reading last time. I don't remember, but I didn't finish it, I don't think.
Okay, so go ahead and just roll me just a general, we'll call it like just a general intelligence check for your time reading.
Sure. 19. Okay.
19, pretty good. So if I remember correctly, the last book that the professor was reading was about...
It was about the history of something. It was
yeah, it was I believe it was the Children of Malice.
Yes.
Yeah, and the professor had been reading about the factions of dark elves that had spent time in the Underdark at first, but there were those who abandoned Lolth, the spider goddess, a betrayer god, and decided to take on worship of the Luxon or the light.
Yes, and there was one other thing. Did they use like poisons or something? Or
did they use poisons? Just generally speaking, yes.
Okay. That was something I remember from last time. Anyway, while I'm reading, at some points, I will get like surprised by an interesting factoid, and I'll think, oh gosh, I didn't know that, or something, and everyone will hear it because we're linked telepathy, and it will be annoying.
Okay. Got it. What I will say, so everybody while sleeping kind of every now and then hears like, or, oh, no way. Those little bits from the professor that kind of...
Professor loves reading.
Bit. And I will say that beyond what was gleaned last time from this book about the Children of Malice, there was a little bit more that that the professor dug into this time. And this was more about the forming of bands of Lolthite, bugbears, and hobgoblins who will sometimes raid outlying Kryn settlements. And that they have been working more and more with the Children of Malice in a kind of gaining ground, I guess would be the way to put it, that they are working together more and more. Not in any of the cities proper, that at least so far as the book or the dynasty is aware of, but that at the time the book was written, that there was increased cooperation between the Children of Malice and Lolthite, bugbears, and hobgoblins, and that the hobgoblins themselves, they typically had just a little bit different features than the regular ones, and you pick up on some of those ways to identify hobgoblins that might be working as worshippers of Lolth with the Children of Malice.
Awesome. I love when I buy books in character and they actually say things. So the professor's reading, put on his reading glasses that look very silly. And, I would say he's the kind of guy who would read during his watch, just if that matters. He's just sitting back, he's facing the door, leaning back on a chair or something, with a book in his hand.
Okay, go ahead and roll a perception check for your time on watch.
Oh, 5. But I can use the psychic thing. Hold on to make it slightly better. Watch it get slightly better. Oh, 11. It goes up to an 11,
Okay.
which is still pretty bad, but not nearly as bad.
Okay. With an 11, probably about 3/4 of the way through your shift, for a second you think you hear a loud yell, kind of like a coming from the
Huh?
outside. You're not sure what it is. It's pretty quiet, and with an 11, you're pretty sure it's something you heard. You're not sure. Maybe I heard one of the animals or something.
I just put the book down. I go to the door. I open it. I take a look outside.
Okay. And you look down the hallway one way, down the hallway another way. You don't see anything.
Hello? I whisper.
Nothing comes
Few
back.
seconds.
Yeah. Still quiet.
I just shrug and all right. Man, I'm telling you, when I was younger, my ears pick up on anything. These days, you never know. All
You
right,
would have heard it all.
heard it all.
Okay, got it. And with that, the professor finishes his watch and heads off to sleep, waking up Glorielle for her shift.
Glorielle, I'm sorry to wake you, but it's your shift.
That's quite all right.
Do you want one of my books to read? They're really boring and for old people like me.
Maybe another time, not tonight.
Okay.
Thank you, though.
All right, good night.
And she is mostly going to spend most of the watch pacing.
Okay.
Although at some point she is going to go out of the room looking for water.
Okay, sure. I'll say then with just pacing, go ahead and let's start with the perception check for the shift.
24.
24.
Natural 19.
Yeah, that's super good. So even with the pacing, you kind of have like a very calculated step, a very calculated light footfall to kind of be able to hear and see and keep all your senses attuned to what's going on around you. And after the first hour of nothing happening, you realize you're a little thirsty, and we're gonna keep that perception check going as you kind of walk out down to the hallway here. And as you do, you head out and turn right back down the hallway to the main chamber that you had entered into with the front door. And once you get there, you do see that there is a short hallway across the main chamber that you could go to that seems to have a door off to the right. And now as you're in here, you can also look into the chamber and see that if you go into it a ways and then go up, so if you go into the main chamber and turn right and then go about 20 feet, do a left turn and go forward, there's another door in there as well. But you do see in here, there is still the woman who was wearing robes, who had the staff with her, as well as the one who opened the door. And they both seem to be sitting here. The woman looks pretty tired, but they are still awake. And I guess I would say you can kind of peek out and see that. Do you want to step into the room fully while they're in here as well?
I will wait a minute or two and make sure I'm not interrupting anything. But if they're just sitting there, I will step in and politely ask if they have any water available.
Okay. Are you trying to stay hidden during that?
When waiting, I'll say yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get a stealth check in there then.
14.
14. Okay, got it. You kind of peek your head out and you see they're there, so you very quickly pull back and just kind of slow your breath a little bit. Be really quiet. After about a minute, you hear the woman speaking first. And she says, "Fucking Progron. Why'd you even have to let them in? I'd rather be in bed. This is bullshit. I can't even believe that Susan decided to go with it. This is putting this whole thing at risk. This is stupid. This is stupid." And he responds, "It's free gold. What do you want? They're going to sleep and go. It's no big deal." She kind of leans back. Crosses her, it's fine, whatever. No discussion after that.
I think having heard that, and if they're not making any sort of reaction to having seen me, I will quietly back to our room.
Okay, got it. And you do so. Doesn't seem like they picked up on you being there. There's no acknowledgement that you were able to see of that in any way. You get back into the room, and maybe another 15, 20 minutes pass. And as you're pacing back and forth here in the room, kind of contemplating what they were just saying, you also hear kind of a short, exaggerated yell. But with your roll, you were able to hear before and after kind of boom, 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 boom. And then a very low outside, quite a ways away, but certainly you can tell it's one of those weird situations where you can tell it was said loud enough for you to hear, like almost maybe it was a yell, but it was from further away.
I think I'm going to let people finish their sleep and then tell them when they wake up. I'm not going to go to investigate or anything. But
Okay.
I do want to let everyone know about it.
For sure. Okay. So with that, then you finish your watch. The rest of the watch goes quietly. Nothing else happens. Winnie, your alarm is not triggered at all. And everyone can mark a long rest, including the monk who's with you guys.
Man, I was so sure we were not going to get that long rest.
I'm gonna just quickly in the morning reestablish telepathic communication.
Okay. Go ahead and roll to see how many hours there were.
6 hours. That's pretty
Oh,
good.
very nice. Yeah, very good.
Hey, yeah, Woody, I'm not going to lie. That I did not want to interrupt the long rest, or I wanted you to get your long rest in. So over the psychic connection, I'll speak up. So did anyone else hear anything last night? I heard this yelp from, it was a little farther away. There's this thudding before it. I'm not really sure what it was.
Yeah, I heard that too, but nothing really came of it. So I just went back to the room.
I didn't hear anything. Al, did you hear anything? Al says no.
Whatever a spider does.
Shakes his little head.
Yeah, the little legs, the little fuzzy legs.
No.
I also started to go out to get a glass of water, but I overheard a couple of the individuals speaking. They were saying something about well, they thought it was unwise that the leader had let us in, and they were worried that we were going to ruin something by being here.
Nonsense! My presence makes everything better. What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, we're doing, I'm a little curious what's going on here. I think it's more than just simple farming. I'm not sure what though.
I would say so. This farm is doing way too well, and they're way too rude to be real farmers.
I said I don't think it was simply that. I stand corrected that I don't know that the Jorhazian being from Jorhas helped any, but they seemed concerned of having any strangers around.
I wonder what
they're doing something untoward, and they're afraid that we might mess it up.
Wow. Then I guess there's only one thing to do. Mess it up.
Wait, what? I thought we were just going to leave.
And Arceris kind of says, I like the way the three of you think.
Winnie's just offended because they were rude to her.
You know, Winnie, since you're my friend, I feel like that is a good enough reason for sabotage. All right. Structurally speaking, right? How am I don't want to hurt the animals.
Mm-hmm.
How am I going to do the most damage to these people?
I do think more information would probably be a good idea.
Yeah, I think we need to find out what they're doing before we can throw a monkey wrench in it.
You know what? Let me tell you, in my younger days, I would have just had this whole thing done in about 20 minutes with a team of 2 good humanoids. But okay, I guess we can take it slow these days.
Yeah, I think, well, and given these creatures, did they seem concerned when we told them about the creatures?
Maybe a bit. There was definitely some acknowledgement of like, oh, that's weird. They seemed a little surprised by it. They didn't necessarily seem concerned by it.
Maybe they're in cahoots.
Yeah, and Arceris pops up, and that is something to consider. I don't know the behavior or the tendencies of the creatures that attacked and killed my group.
Maybe they're were-lizards.
I have not run into anything like that in my travels, but I've heard of stranger things than that.
Maybe we should go investigate where you heard that noise, Glorio. Could you pinpoint where you thought it was coming from? Do we hear it anymore? Let's listen real hard when he cocks her boom.
And I will say, with that high of a check on that one, you can get a general direction. And if you kind of go and look out the little window that's here in this room, you can see there is an open area. I'll say, because it was a real good perception check on that one when the others were real low. It does seem to be, now that you can see it in the light, the direction of the barn. It was about 150 feet away or so from the farmhouse.
Professor, you're good at keeping unseen. Do you think it would make sense to have you check out the barn?
Sure thing. I just do like a little neck roll thing, which doesn't really help me be stealthy, just showing off.
And you kind of get stuck on the last one a little bit.
Oh,
there we go.
And these old bones. All right.
Okay.
When I was younger, et cetera, et cetera. All right, I'm going to go.
we have the psychic link, but here also take Owl. He can at least show me what's going on, and if you get in trouble.
Yeah, I sort of offer I turn my neck and offer my shoulder if he wants to approach on there or whatever's comfortable for him.
Owl climbs up and tucks himself behind his ear.
Okay, got it. Feel a little.
What time of day is it right now?
Right now, morning. We're talking pretty early, 7, 8 in the morning. After
what's
sunrise.
The sun though? I want to know the lighting conditions.
So the lighting conditions is kind of autumn right now. So the sun is pretty low in the sky to start the day. There is a mist in the air that kind of refracts some of the light. It is a bit of a cloudy morning too. So it's almost like a little bit of mostly like that foggy, gloomy day. But when a cloud passes and the sun is free, it kind of gets that bright light through that is kind of refracting off the moisture in the air and making a real very pretty picturesque scene here.
This is perfect. Okay. So I'm going to go just sort of back up, hopefully make sure no one's looking, and then head off to the barn quietly.
Okay. How would you like to get to the barn?
I don't mind taking a roundabout route if it means like avoiding where people are seen, especially because I can bonus action dash, which makes me a little faster.
Okay. So the way the setup was here, if you're standing in the doorway of the room that you're in, you could turn right and go back to the main hall, kind of the main chamber where you entered. From there, there's a doorway outside. That's where you came in. That would be the closest way to exit that you know of. There were also 2 doors leading out of that kind of chamber area, but there's not really been any kind of looking into whether or not there's something on the other side of those doors, if it's more stuff in the house.
I'm going to go the route I know. I'm going to go the route I know.
Okay, got it. All right, so go ahead and roll that stealth check to start.
All right. Easy peasy, lemon, 24.
24, pretty good. Okay. So you make your way back to that main chamber area and kind of very quietly, very deftly moving. and watching every footfall, you lift up and see, you kind of cross over to the corner, and you look and now see that the woman in robes is not there anymore, but the one who opened the door is still there. And there is the other, the half elf man who was there the night before is there, but it is just those two. The woman is not there anymore, and you can see that they don't see you. So you move to the door, but you will have to open the door to get out. I'll say, give me like a sleight of hand check on this one to see if you can very quietly hold your hand to very quietly disengage the latch and walk out.
Sorry, could you say that last sentence again?
A sleight of hand check to see if you're able to very quietly open the door, kind of, and just slip out without
14.
14. Okay, got it. Okay. So you make it outside. You kind of keep the handle turned as you close the door and very quietly close it and put it back in place and start to move off to the barn. Now, the barn's about 150 feet away or so. We've got your 24 for your stealth check inside. Now that you're outside, there's not quite as much cover. Go ahead and roll me a stealth check for this portion of the journey to the barn from the outside of the house.
31.
31. Deftly moving quietly over this little like path area. And what you're able to do is move over to, because the field, the wheat field in particular, butts up to the house pretty quickly. So you're able to very quickly move into that wheat field and then go about 100 feet towards the barn. You got another 50 feet or so from there. Go ahead and roll me a perception check here at this point, though.
21.
21. You hear, it almost seems like wind brushing through the wheat at first. But then you do hear with the 21 very quickly moving. And it's this odd thing where it kind of feels like something's maybe hard to tell, 100 feet, 200 feet. But it was moving quickly through this wheat field, and it's not terribly far from you.
What direction was it moving again? Could I tell?
With a 21, you can tell it wasn't like moving in a line towards you, probably closer to diagonal or perpendicular to like the direction you're heading. Yeah.
Okay. I'm just going to turn to Owl. And I hope that we're connected through Winnie.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we can say Winnie's been keeping an eye through Owl.
I'm just going to say, Owl, just keep an eye out in that direction for me, okay? And then I'm going to move forward.
Okay. You move forward the last bit of the way up to the barn, and the barn itself is all wood. There is the large barn doors themselves, kind of the big ones that have like a big piece of wood that you lift up to kind of do and open up. There is also off to the left of that, probably about 20 or 30 feet, a small, just kind of standard door as well. But the barn is pretty large overall. Looks well built. There's even a little bit of dyes and paint on it to give it that red barn look. But you kind of have a moment of looking at it, and you think back to Zemnian history and the empire that they came from, and how these fields have had very traditional building styles. You kind of have that history pop through your head, and then you kind of snap out of it and back towards the barn.
Naturally.
Yeah. Did you want to go for the barn doors or the smaller standard size door?
Barn doors are too noisy and loud and clunky. Go for the humanoid sized door.
Okay, got it. You move towards the humanoid sized door, and you get up to it, and I'll kind of use that 21 perception check here as well.
I was going to ask to put my ear to it anyway.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, we'll keep that 21. You're able to hear voices inside. They are muffled though. You can't hear exactly what is being said, but you do hear multiple voices. You can pick up at least 3 within 20 to 30 seconds.
And these are not animal noises. These are humanoid.
No, these are definitely humanoid voices for sure.
Okay. Owl. What's the owl's name? I'm sorry.
His name is Owl.
Oh, his name. That's
It's a spider right now.
He's a spider, but his name is Owl.
Oh, okay. I give him a little tickle, and I say, "Hey, friend, can you climb up on the roof and see if there's a gap where you can go down and look for me?"
And he'll
I mean, I'm good, but you're
tap.
real good,
He'll
right?
give his ear 2 taps with his leg, and he'll start going up to.
And while he's doing that, I'm just going to wait patiently and lean my back, like not against the door, because if it opens, something bad will happen, but just a little bit away from the door.
Okay.
And, try not to make any noise.
Okay, got it. All right. So Owl starts climbing up onto the top of the barn, looking for a gap in the slats of wood. Able to find one, easy enough for Spider Eyes to, or even the full Owl to fully get through and kind of hang out on the upside down part of the inner barn roof. Go ahead and roll a perception check for Owl to see what Winnie sees here in this moment.
Do spiders have dark vision? I don't know.
I have no idea.
I'd have to
Okay.
check that block. I'm not sure.
An owl, is it owl's perception?
Yeah, it would be the current spider form. Let me pull
And that is a wisdom?
Yeah, wisdom. So whatever the wisdom modifier, you can add that to the
All
roll.
right. So it's just an even roll. That's an 8.
An 8. Okay, got it. So an 8 isn't a ton, but being on the inside of the barn does help at least. And when he hears a kind of a little bit cocky, bombastic voice, and can see down and see that it is coming from a human woman with a bigger build, brown hair. She seems to be wearing a leather armor skirt and a fur cloak as well. There's a sword on one side of the waist and a hand axe on the other. And there are another 4 to 5 people that Owl can see here at this point. One of them being the woman who was inside, who had the staff wearing the robes earlier. She is out here now, so there is those 2. But there are also 3 who are tied up. And the 3 who are tied up on the ground, there are 2 who are older, and let's see, notes up, and then 2 who are younger. So it looks like 2 adults and 2 who are younger, still adult size, I guess I would say, but still kind of have a little bit of a youthful look to them. And you hear the voice, the cocky voice from the one wearing the fur cloak, saying, "If you just tell us where it is, this will all be over. We've taken the animals that we need. We've taken the grain that we need. That sword is the last piece needed. If you do not give it up, another member of your family will die." What do you think, huh? And he walks over to one of the younger, looks to be a young woman, and looks her kind of in the face, and she picks up her chin and looks her in the face. "What about you, huh? Do you think your father would give it up to save you?" And she has something wrapped over her mouth, so she can't really speak. But even from this distance, you can almost see a bit of trembling to her as this is being said.
I'm going to step in here.
Father,
Winnie.
do we have our psychic link up?
Yeah.
Yes.
We have our psychic link up.
I instantly relay all of that to everybody. Oh no!
Do you want me to go in? I can do a lot of damage before they can stop me.
I think you should wait for us, and we should all do a lot of damage.
Okay. Let's let's go.
Was there, and Arceris speaks up, was there any sign of the reptile creatures?
No, were there? No.
Okay.
I just want to do one thing. While the others are coming, let me just check my inventory. Disguise kit, forgery kit. Oh, mask here. I am going to try to lock the barn doors from the outside.
Oh,
just
interesting.
to reduce the number of ways they can get out.
Okay,
And,
yeah. Go ahead and roll sleight of hand.
I can tie like a rope around. I have more rope.
Okay.
I can tie a rope around like the
barn door part.
Yeah, the barn door handles or something, or prop a piece of wood against it. Whatever will work. And I also
there's a very, very basic lock on the standard size door. If you wanted to use your thieves' tools to try and to lock it from the
I
side.
can even transfer it. Yeah, thieves' tools. I'm real good with those. Let me just do it's just a dex check with.
If you're proficient in thieves' tools, you can and sleight of hand. You can just use sleight of hand, and that's kind of
my sleight of hand is not.
Then yeah, so it'd be your dex plus your proficiency.
All right, I'll just roll it. It's an 11 plus my proficiency, which is like +3, right?
I'd have to look, but yeah, likely.
Okay, yeah, so it's a 14.
14. Okay, got it.
And I can use psychic stuff if it needs to be higher.
Okay. I would say it's a very simple door. That's enough. It's a simple barn door. It's enough to lock it from that side.
Yeah. So I'm going to take the lock off of one door and then put it on the barn door. So that way they have like a less. And also, are there other? I'm just going to take a quick.
Oh, I see. So it wasn't like padlock. It was actually the door itself. So you're able to lock the humanoid-sized door.
Yeah.
And if you want to like do rope or something.
Yeah, I'm going to lock all but one of the doors. Essentially,
okay.
I'm going to try to do.
Okay.
However many there are, and however much time I have, you can let me know like what I can and can't do.
I would say there's a front door and a back door that are humanoid size, and then the large barn doors. So that would be your choices.
Okay. So the large barn doors, I'm gonna lock the back door. I'll get ready to enter through the front door, and then the large barn doors I will also try to lock and or barricade somehow.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And again, however effective that is, you can let me know, or if I need to roll, also let me know.
Okay, got it. It's easy. I would say actually for this part, roll another stealth check would be the thing, because that's going to take a little bit of time.
Yeah, I'm happy to do it. You know, I love me some stealth checks. 21.
21, another 21. Okay, got it. Pretty good. Okay, got it. All right, Winnie and Gloria, how are you making your way outside?
Unless when he stops me, I'm just walking straight out, and I'm ready to just toss aside anyone who gets in my way.
We're just running. Just gotta go. Bye. If there's anybody, I don't know. We've got to go. Bye.
Okay. Are you trying to? Oh, man, I guess the two people are still in this. So if the two of you are kind of just going here, as you get to that main chamber and walk out the door, they do kind of stand up to talk to you and kind of, hey, wait a second. Do you stop to talk to them at all, or just keep moving?
I don't know. You want to talk?
Keep moving, Winnie. Keep moving.
Who is it? It's not the people that we saw earlier. It's somebody else.
So the guy who opened the door, and then one of the other guys who was there the night before.
Oh, yeah. I think Winnie's just going to say, I'm sorry. It's very clear we aren't welcome here. Thank you for letting us sleep. We'll be on our way now.
Okay, got it.
And I'm not going to leave a good review for you.
Go on to Yelp.com.
Yes.
Okay, got it.
Fantasy
okay.
Yelp.
So as Winnie and Gloriel quickly, and Arceris, she would be with you as well, make your way out of this front chamber area outside. I think that's a good spot to take a break.
Okay.
Oh, you big tease.
All right, so we'll do a 15-minute break here. That'll be 16. It's 5:16. Or let's see, we got 5:02. So 5:17, we'll call it, and then 17 of whatever hour you're in your time zone. But we'll be back in 15 minutes after a quick break to see how this plays out. See you in a bit. All right, welcome back.
Hey.
All right, we got two. How about Lisa?
Present.
Okay. All right, so picking up where we left off, as Winnie and Gloriel, along with the new acquaintance at least, Arceris, the Cobalt Soul monk, moving from the house towards the farm where the professor is. As the three of you go, though, actually, Will, before we do that, how are you trying to go? Are you going quickly, or are you trying to go quietly here?
I think Winnie's going quickly.
Okay.
Oh yeah, we're definitely going quickly.
Okay, got it. As the three of you start to move from the house towards the barn area over by where the professor is, you do see that there is a halfling who is kind of moving from the direction of the house. Looks like maybe a back door exit, also moving in the direction of the barn as well. And you see them, and they are running quickly, kind of at a jogging pace towards the barn. Even from what you can tell, it doesn't seem like they see anybody or anything. It doesn't. You don't pick up on any like acknowledgement of the professor over by the barn. But they are still jogging that way. And as they make it about probably 75 feet towards the barn, out from the field of wheat, you see running very quickly a large reptilian creature run out, two-legged from head to tail, probably 6 to 7 feet. On its feet, there is a large hooked claw, has small arms, a head that kind of looks like a large bird of prey almost. It has some feathers behind its head and on its tail and along its arms as well. I would say that the players would know this creature, just for visual effect here, as a velociraptor. And feathered, it is a little bit brighter than you might expect, but it runs towards this halfling here, running towards the barn, and jumps. And as it jumps, it lands on the halfling and just starts to tear into it, biting down. You see bits of flesh being torn apart. You see it taking its claws straight across the body, and within a few moments, it is very obvious that this thing has killed the halfling, and stands up with the meat that's in its mouth and runs back towards the wheat field. What would Gloriel and Winnie be doing while this is happening? The professor too. What would everybody be doing at that moment?
Do I hear and or see this?
I would say you see it as well.
Okay. I'm gonna wait see what the others do. And if I can hear it, I'm guessing people inside the barn can hear it. Probably.
Potentially. Yeah,
how much
potentially.
is
You're
that?
not sure. I would say that the halfling did kind of make a scream "Ah!" as she got attacked, and there's,
Right.
you know...
Seeing that the scream is gonna create some attention, I'm gonna slip in now as quietly as I can.
Okay.
Barn.
Is the halfling clearly done for?
Clearly.
Yeah, I think I would have, when the creature came out, I would have started to run towards the halfling, but then when I saw that it was checking out, it's like, just sort of hold up and look towards Winnie. Do we need to do this or the barn?
Yeah.
Or
Winnie shakes her head and keeps running to the barn.
Okay. Got it.
so right behind her, Gloriel follows.
Okay.
Shit.
as the two of you are running, one that is a little bit darker in color starts to run out from the wheat fields again. This one obviously different, but it starts to chase after the two of you. As you run, I need both of you to roll athletics checks to see how quickly this is going to be to make it to the barn against this creature.
And
And as we're running, I roll over the link to psychic link to when he say lead it to the assholes in the barn.
Can I cast a spell?
I think you can cast a spell if you want to, yeah.
Grease.
Grease?
Grease.
Oh, yes. Okay, yeah. That's a dex check if I remember correctly.
Dex 17.
Dex 17.
I don't know. Winnie, this is how Winnie rolls. I don't know what to do.
Oh my God, I'm so excited. Okay.
Fall down. You fall down now.
Here's a 12 total.
All right, it falls down.
So as this Velociraptor is running, and we're not talking like the actual ones that were small by the waist. We're talking the Jurassic Park ones that are, as tall as Winnie.
Holy shit.
It is running, and as it is, Winnie, what does your spell look like here as you cast that grease
It of course looks like a big lick of honey.
Yes, and you throw it out, and it hits the ground and just
under it.
Yeah, it just like spreads out over the ground like a dollop of honey would. And as that happens, you see this thing slide, obviously not able to catch its feet, and fall prone onto the ground. And you see it kind of like trying to slip, trying to get up, but that does allow the two of you enough time to get to the barn if you would like to. Professor, as you're stepping into the barn, go ahead and are you trying to stay hidden while doing this?
If I can.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
21.
21. Okay. So you're able to actually. I need to check something here real quick. Okay. So you head in, and you can see that the people who are in the barn here are kind of turning towards the commotion, but you're able to slip by and behind a pillar without being noticed. And you do see now that there are the two who are up. There was one with a fur cloak and the one with the robes holding a staff, as well as there are 4 here that are bound on the ground, and one who's off in the corner laying unconscious at the very least. But you are in here as well. Winnie and Glorielle, the two of you make it to the barn. You saw the professor go in. And you stand here outside of it.
Is there one of them who looks like they're particularly tough or particularly weak compared to the others?
You can roll an insight check.
Yeah.
Yes, I was going to ask if Al could do something.
Sure.
15.
15. I would say the one with the fur cloak has a much bigger build, has melee weapons. If you're looking for tougher, that'd probably be it. The other one's wearing robes, has a smaller frame. Looks like some kind of staff as well.
Right. I'm gonna do a psychic sneak knife attack on the weaker one. And the thing about the psychic knife is it doesn't leave any marks or make a sound.
Okay. So interesting. Yeah, go ahead and roll an attack.
That is something that's like
for sure.
So I'm just gonna let me just do that 1 second. Easy peasy. That's an 11, but I have advantage because I'm hidden. 13. Ew.
13 will hit.
Oh.
Robes. I've been saying robes the whole time.
20 psychic damage.
Flavor that fatality for me. How does Mage die?
Just instantly collapses on the floor without warning. No sound. No yelling out. No nothing. No marks either. There's no blood.
Yeah. The fur cloak. The fur cloak woman looks. What the fuck? And starts looking around. What the fuck? And what are Glorielle and Winnie doing?
Yeah, I was gonna say, at least on my part, there's no intention of stealth. I just come busting through like the Kool-Aid man.
Okay, got it. All right.
And if Owl can just drop on the head of the one that's still alive
Huh?
and start crawling around his head and take the help action.
Okay. At this point, I would say let's get an initiative in to see how this goes here.
Yeah, I think Winnie's not stealthing.
Yeah, Gloriel.
Even Owl at this point.
I heard the term like a Kool-Aid man, so that's going to be an initiative roll.
That's an initiative roll, but Spider Owl is just trying to distract.
Yeah, for sure.
He's gonna bite his ear or something. Alright, let me do this. $23.
Okay, how about Gloriel?
That's a big 8.
Ooh, got it. 8 for Gloriel. And then the professor.
11.
11, okay, got it. All right. So as the group pops in here, let me change this up just a bit. Winnie and Gloriel burst through the door. Both of you kind of diagonal, but of a distance of about, not very far, about 35 feet away here from this person with a fur cloak. As you kind of bust in the room, you see her pull her sword and hand axe out and kind of brace as obviously something is happening here at this point. Winnie, you are up first. You're about 35 feet away here in this barn. They're in the center of it. What would you like to do?
That is a very good question. Let's see. Owl's taking the help action. So I have no idea what I'm going to do. I'm going to use Tasha's Mind Whip.
Okay.
An intelligence 17 save.
They got a 21 total, so they will save.
Okay, so but they're going to take some half damage.
Okay.
So we roll that. 11 points of psychic damage halved.
Okay, so 5 psychic to
That was disappointing. Oh, oh,
yeah, dice weren't with you on that one, unfortunately.
yeah.
All right, you do see kind of a as she kind of feels that psychic damage, almost like a headache that is the worst version you can ever feel, that pounds into your skull. Yeah, she takes damage.
I'm just running in and standing there.
Okay, got it. Were you moving forward at all, or staying back by the door about 35 feet away from this person?
Yeah, I would have gotten into the barn, but probably I would have closed to within at least 30 feet.
Okay, got
I
it.
don't even know what a lot of my stuff is a 30-foot range.
Okay, got it. All right. Well, then next it will be this woman in the fur cloak. If you had moved up, she is going to move forward and make a couple attacks against Winnie because she's the closest within range for the movement, and the professor's hidden.
That's okay.
All right, so the first one, it is going to attack with the long sword. That one is a 12 to hit.
No.
Okay. Second slash.
Tougher stuff than that.
Yeah, Winnie's able to bring up that broken shield and block the attack from the first longsword hit away. The second one is a 16 to hit.
Doesn't hit her either.
Oh, with a deft move over from the shield, is able to block the second one. You see that hand axe come out and go for a low hit against the legs. And that one is a 19 to hit.
That is my AC.
That one is your AC. Okay.
I will take it. Yep.
Okay, so that one's going to be a total of 6 points of piercing damage as they go low, right into kind of a chunk of leg with the hand axe.
Okay.
Okay, they are right up next to Winnie. That makes them about 5 feet away from Gloriel and about 15 feet away from the professor, who's still hiding behind that pillar. Next, that takes us to the professor.
Professor has advantage because Owl is helping.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
Well, also they don't know where I am, so that helps too.
That helps.
So there were 3 figures. One of them is no more, and there's 2 left, right?
Well, the two that were not. There were 2 that weren't bound. You took out one of them, so there is currently just this one who is in here in the barn and stuff.
Oh, okay. Well, that one is next.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll an attack.
Yeah, let's do it. That's a 19 or 27, which is more than 19.
27 will hit. Yeah, go ahead and roll some damage on that.
20 damage.
Whoo! Okay.
And now here's the thing. I don't know what normally when you make an attack when you're hidden, like a weapon attack, like you're revealed. I think that's still true even for my blades, which are psychic and like don't.
Yeah, it would still be true. Just generally, like even with the flavor of them being psychic, just rules is written.
Yeah,
in attack
that's totally
would
fine.
have you make it.
Then I'll use my bonus action to just do the offhand one.
Okay.
That's nope, I miss. All right.
Okay, yeah, and it kind of has that same like feeling more psychic damage now. She is kind of like you can tell has a little bit of slowed movements trying to dodge these attacks. Anything else for your professor?
And I just say, hello. Today is not your day.
Got it. Gloriel, how much of a day is it not for this person? God, that was awkward. Your turn.
Yes, I would like to rage. And then I'm going to run up. However, instead of pulling out my great axe, I'm going to grab her by the shirt and attempt to toss her to the ground, doing a shove attack to knock her prone.
Okay, go ahead and let's see here.
Natural 20 for a total of 27.
Ooh, nice. Okay, yeah, you're absolutely able to do so. You push her down onto the ground, and she's now prone.
And then I am going to place my boot on her chest and attempt to grapple her.
Okay, go ahead and roll that athletics check.
22.
Oh yeah, definitely beat it.
And I'm going to say, what the fuck is going on here?
Okay, and she just kind of grits her teeth. What the fuck is going on? Why is my fucking person dead over here?
Oh, that was hello, me again.
And
I'm
that's
just
my
gonna
turn.
tank.
That was both my attacks.
Okay, that's your turn. Okay, got it. All right, Winnie, we're back up to you. This person is now grappled here under Gloriel's boot. What would you like to do?
I guess I will try to tie her up.
Okay, sure. I would say with Gloriel grappling her, go ahead and just roll a general dexterity check with advantage.
Just dex. Okay. 15.
Yeah. You're able to get her tied up, and given that she is now incapacitated, we'll move out of initiative. I don't need to stay in initiative order here for somebody who is bound.
While I'm untying people, I'm just going to do, like, I'm not really a doctor. I'm good at a lot of things. Doctoring is not one of them. I'm just going to make sure that there's, like, no grievous wounds or anything.
Sure. Gotta roll medicine check still.
Yeah, sure. Hopefully it's not high DC, because 10. 10 is...
10. So there are 4 people who were tied up here. There was an older man and older woman, and then a younger man and younger woman. They do, even with just passive insights, seem to have a passing similarity to each other, probably familial. As far as grievous injuries, the older male seems to be the one who is most beat up by far. His face is swollen. His eyes are both swollen shut. You see, like, teeth are missing. There's blood coming out of the mouth. Cuts and bruises from what look like obvious big hits. That's probably the worst of what you see. You don't see any big stab wounds or anything like that. They all have some level of bruising on them. But there is the one who seemed to be tied but was lying in the corner unconscious. Even with that roll, you can tell this person has passed.
Oh. Okay. Oh boy. You know what? I'm just gonna give him a pat and then start untying everyone else and hope they don't ask about it.
Our friend here said that this person in the cloak was starting to kill one of you. What is going on here? Does it have anything to do with those giant lizard birds out there?
Giant lizard birds? What the fuck are you talking about? Go ahead and roll an intimidation check.
Also,
with
if
advantage.
If there's a cow in the barn, I'm gonna milk the cow and then give
Got
it.
it. No cow in the barn now.
Okay.
Yeah.
I tried to.
15.
15. Okay. Kind of looks up. And says, I don't know what you're talking about lizard birds. I think what's going on here is obvious, don't you?
Actually, no. I really don't think it's. Sorry, I know you weren't talking to me. It's rude to interrupt, but
No, you're good.
yeah. I mean, I just see people tied up here. How am I supposed to know what's going on? I'm not. I mean, I am psychic, but not that kind of psychic. Let me think about it.
She just kind of gives a very angry look, but doesn't say much else. And at this point, the older woman says, I think I can maybe fill in some details.
Just before we do that, do any of you need any immediate medical attention?
She says, no, my his son has already passed. I think we're okay.
Condolences. I know the pain of your loss.
Thank you. I'm Deldrelna Gorbaran. This is my family. These are members of the Myriad that came 2 days ago to steal from us.
So is this actually your farm then?
Yes, it is. It's our farm.
I knew they weren't farmers.
And Winnie, you can see there's a much more welcoming look to the people who were tied up than the group who was originally in that. She says, they're looking for a sword my husband is the keeper of. We keep it hidden. We keep it guarded. And they're also taking some of our animals and grains to feed their groups.
So what is it? You keep it hidden, you keep it guarded.
The husband now still not moving very much, and you can tell the eyes are closed, just swollen shut, so not even being able to see. We are the keepers of the sword. It is a powerful sword that has brought our family much luck.
I'll go over to him. He seems to be bad off. And go ahead and cast Cure Wounds. I'm sorry I'm no cleric, but this is the best I can do for you.
Thank you. And the woman speaks this time and says, they've already, they killed him. And she looks over at the body. They killed, Treth. And she's, the woman with the fur cloak is still on the ground, kind of trying to struggle a little bit. And she keeps trying to move. Gloriel, you've got a good hold, though. And, from underneath your boot, though, she yells out, "He was weak!" the older woman goes over and looks at you, Gloria, and says, "May I?"
Well, when she first said that she were weak, I think I would have taken an unarmed strike on her, but then I would have
Okay.
probably let her go ahead and do whatever
Okay,
she
got
needs
it.
to do.
And so we'll if you want to go ahead and just roll some damage on an unarmed strike, I don't even make you roll the hit. But you were kind of on the same path that she was. She sees you make the hit after they yell out that he was weak.
Yeah, I don't think I have anything special for unarmed strike, so I think it's just 1 plus plus my strength, right?
Yeah, should be. Yeah.
So it'd be 5.
5. Okay, got it. So, she gets you see there's a cut above the brow where you do the unarmed strike, and the woman comes over, takes her foot, and just kicks her right in the head. And you see the woman with the fur cloak. She stops, kind of struggling a bit, and her eyes just kind of roll back in her head. It was a solid kick to the dome. And then the husband speaks up after standing up. "Thank you. I don't know how to thank you. Or why?" As he looks at your kind of, at you, a bugbear here.
Well,
And probably pretty curiously at me as well.
Yes, as well. Yeah, a little less so, but kind of like looking at Winnie because she was there doing the
Oh,
healing
yeah,
right there,
totally.
but kind of a look back and forth.
yeah, we were just passing through on our own business, but maybe our business is intertwined. What can you tell us of the sword, and what can you tell us of this myriad? Has Winnie ever heard of the myriad before? Does she
I
know?
would say you can roll a history check to see. Myriad has its fingers in lots of places, especially in Wild Mountain.
What does Winnie know? 25.
25 Winnie has heard of the Myriad. Yeah, the Myriad does have somewhat of a presence in Asarius. It's mostly in animal dealing, getting eggs of various exotic animals, some that are restricted in other parts of the continent of the world, and sending them there through their networks. Winnie would know a lot, not everything about the Myriad, but would know that they did start in the this area, that they are an organization that has been around for a few decades, and it kind of depends on who you ask whether the Clasp or the Myriad is more equipped or more able. Or sometimes they're working together, but they are largely a criminal organization that started with trappers and business people who wanted to operate on the outskirts of the law rather than within it, and their reach is quite wide, and that where you're at here is likely probably the epicenter of some of their networks.
All right. So, to Winnie's sensibility, these guys are bad news. These are bad people. So, what do they want with the sword? Well, maybe we should not talk about what they want in front of this one. Maybe somebody could make him unconscious. Make them unconscious.
Or
feel like
Saris looks at Gloriel and is like,
Yeah, I could presumably knock her out.
Okay. Well, rather than have you roll damage until you get to the hit point maximum, we'll say 2 real good butt of the great axe hits. Put it asleep.
Yeah. Use a spell for that, but it hardly seems worthwhile.
Sure, yeah.
Indeed. Before we spend too much time here, are there other members of the Myriad that we need to deal with before we sit down to have this talk? And also, do you know anything about those lizards? There was some poor halfling who was savaged at trying to run to the barn.
And then a very confused look on the two of their faces. The older man and the older woman now have kind of both stepped up, and I have no idea anything about large lizards or birds. They were attacked here by those?
Mm-hmm.
You could probably look outside the door and see the poor halfling's corpse.
Yeah, we may not be able to get back to the house. It might be a project to get even back to the house. That's problem number 2. Problem number 1, what sword? We are also in search of artifacts to keep them out of evil hands. So maybe
Is the sword related to the ruins of Schadengrad?
It's not. He kind of gives a sizing up look, and you see kind of this look of consideration of, am I trading one group for another, and am I in the same position? But they kind of consider everything that's been done, and you can kind of see just it all happens within 2 seconds, but it's a very conflicted look.
And I will say, I understand your concerns, but you're not thieves. We wouldn't take it from them, would we? I wouldn't.
not involved. No, we may ask them for it, but I wouldn't take it involuntarily. I would love some seedlings, though. I love your farm. But I wouldn't take those either. But
and the older woman says, "Oh, thank you so much. We work very hard. We can provide seeds if you'd like."
Yeah, I need your
the least we could do.
Our farm's nearly
Then,
as yours.
sorry, go ahead.
You have such a lush farm. I'd love to trade tips or get some tips. But sadly, I feel like present events are more pressing.
Gloria, go ahead and roll persuasion check with advantage at this point. Winnie's farm talk kind of loosened him up a little.
Natural 20 for a total of 20. This is not
so
my
a natural and dirty
skill.
20.
The dice gods are in our favor today.
I like it. Okay, got it. And it's the woman, Del Drelna. It's okay, Savos. They saved us. All right. The sword is not related to the ruins of Schadengrad, no. It's been in my family for about 3 generations. My grandfather came upon the sword in a cave up north, near the coast. It is powerful. It has magical enchantments. And he believed it brought our family great luck. It also acts as a key to the cave. There are other things in there as well, some more powerful, but it is a very dangerous place to be, and my grandfather believed it was his duty to keep it safe, to keep it hidden, so that others could not come and delve into its depths and steal the wonders that were within it. It's called the Frostbringer.
I'm afraid the caves have been compromised. We're searching out creatures. We have something similar in our country. It's been compromised by lizard folk, and I'm afraid they're here next, and we're trying to beat them to it and keep them from achieving their aims.
And as you say that, outside the barn at this point, given that how it's built, there is some level of gap, and you all start to see a shadow past one of the walls very quickly, very large shadow, and you hear it moves off.
I'm gonna hide.
Okay, go ahead and roll a stealth check.
24.
24. Okay, got it.
Where'd the professor go? He's always wandering off.
Don't worry, I say telepathically. I'm, over there by the thing.
And now that you have his name, Savos, the older man here walks out to the door and cracks it just a bit to look out to see the body, or what's left of the halfling at least. Brings his head back in. Look, I've already lost my oldest son to this. If you can help us get out of here, if you can help us us out of the situation into safety. I know there was more than just these two here. If you can get us out safely and make sure whatever these things are do not kill us, whether they be bandits or large reptiles. And Frostbringer is yours for whatever you need it for.
Do our best. We can't stay in this barn forever. We're gonna have to.
Absolutely.
How many creatures have we seen? How many different creatures of these have we seen?
So far, 2 specifically, in terms of like at points where they could be identified in some way.
And they're how big?
Pretty big. The top of the head would probably be about Winnie's height. Yeah.
Ooh, I have not seen enough Jurassic Park to know how bad these things are. Well, I'm guessing pretty bad.
Pretty bad.
I'm feeling
The
like
pounce was the jump was kind of like a big, like long leap up and onto the halfling, and just very quickly devoured it.
Well, does anybody have a plan? How we got to get these? How many civilians? We got to get these people from A to B, from here to the farm, and we probably got to like dispatch these things. Otherwise, they're just going to continue to wreak havoc. And how many more myriad people are there?
That you know of, 2.
2 more.
Yeah, and Arceris at this point would pop up and say, if we can get them back to the house at least, and we can leave, I can always let the Cobalt Soul know. The Cerberus Assembly also has a presence at the Ruins of Schottengrad. They may be willing to offer some of their battle mages to dispatch whatever these creatures are.
Okay.
L'Oreal makes a really ugly look at that.
That's a monkey paw.
But there's 2 more myriad members here on.
There were the 2 in the house that were kind of had followed up.
Do we think they'll leave now that we've dispatched the other 2? I don't know. What are we going to do with this one we've tied up? Well, I guess leave them here. Oh, they can be Velociraptor bait, I guess.
There you go.
I don't think Winnie's that mean.
I was thinking more that the Cobalt Soul might be able to take possession or custody of this individual here.
That might be a better idea.
Narcissus says,
This isn't a horror show.
so we can absolutely. It is within our legal rights to intern those who have broken the Dwendalian law. This certainly would. Murder holds quite a high penalty.
So we got to figure out how to get. The problem is, if we get from here to the farmhouse, then we still have to get the sword wherever that is, and then get to Schottengrad. All while dodging these, whatever they are. We're probably gonna have to kill them.
Yes, I'm perfectly willing to take the lead in heading from here back to the house and going ahead and attacking and fighting the lizard birds as needed. I would worry little about the other myriad members attacking us while we're fighting the lizard birds, but I'm not sure there's a way around that.
No, should we go out and try to draw them off and leave Savos and his family in the barn until we've cleared a path?
Oh yes, I don't.
I think we should leave them here. It's safe for now, and they can hide somewhere and take shelter until we know it's safe.
Yeah, tell them to lock the door behind us, and we'll just go out and see what happens. This is awful brave.
And Arceris says,
yeah, I don't know.
Should I come with you or stay in here with them? I'm happy to do either.
You know what? You should stay here and improve their morale. Tell them funny stories. I don't know a funny story.
Maybe
Ask
he's a
for
little
the telepathy. I know funny stories. I tell them to my grandkids.
But maybe we should Maybe she could help kill these things.
Now, trust me, in my younger days, I would have just killed all these things myself.
All right. In Europe,
I think I only need 2 of you to help.
It is good to make. It'll be good to have someone stay behind to make sure that the cloaked figure doesn't escape.
Yeah. Plus, if one of them gets past us, it's nice to have someone here. I think.
That's true.
I mean,
that's a good point.
L'Oreal, you can dish it out, but I mean, as far as numbers are concerned, you can't be in 2 places at once. No fault to you, just that's how life is.
Absolutely
At least not without
true.
a cool spell, I guess.
Yes, I actually have compatriots who could be in 2 places at once, but not me.
Do we know anything about what attracts these creatures? If we go out, we can prepare, and then we can go out and attract them really quick. I can do a few things.
I don't know. We could cover ourselves in like butter or something.
As I say, so far what you've seen is they seem to be attracted to meat.
To meat, like raw
They've been
meat,
hunting.
people meat.
Yeah, I mean, halfling at least that you know of. Arceris had said that the 4 other members of her group had been torn apart by them as well.
Did we say there was livestock in here?
Not in the barn, but around very close to this area, sure.
Hate to put these poor people out any more than they already have been, but perhaps we could use some of the livestock as bait. Or ourselves, that works too.
Well, I mean, does the meat have to be like, are we just meat? We just go out there, or are we just meat? I think so.
We kind of are.
Yeah, we kind of are. I feel like, all right, well, let me know when we're going to go out, and Winnie has a few spells to cast if she's able to.
Okay. I would say, yeah, Savos says if the animals are to be food anyways, if they can be food in service of keeping us safe, then we've got plenty to be raised after them. He says, I could run out myself and try and grab one if you would like, but the pen where the cattle are kept is about 200 feet away, in the opposite direction of the house.
I feel like we're going to be the meat.
Yes, I'm certainly okay with just providing the bait myself. That's definitely an option.
Okay. Well then.
Right.
And Arceris kind of looks at the group. Best of luck. They are very quick.
Be with us.
Younger years, I totally could have outrun them. Just saying.
I will go out first and distract them. If that's okay, I'm going to cast mirror image on myself.
Ooh.
Very nice.
That will hopefully confuse them a bit.
Winnie, just when I thought my life couldn't get any better, there's more of you.
There's more of me.
That is so fantastic.
And I will take the lead and go out and start here, lizard.
Okay. And how close is everybody following here to Winnie?
I'm like 30-ish feet behind, maybe 20 feet behind. 20 feet behind.
So, and what about Gloriel?
I'm sticking pretty close. Definitely close enough that no more than 20 feet behind.
Okay.
I'd probably try to be inching closer to Ted because I feel bad about Winnie being out by her, taking the lead like that.
Okay, got it. So Winnie, you go out, do a little reptile call.
I don't know what geckos say. I don't know. I haven't watched enough Jurassic Park. How do you call the dinosaurs? You're lizard.
How are you walking out? Are you just kind of creeping out, or are you quickly moving? What's your movement here?
I think I'm going to move quickly to get a little bit of distance between myself and the barn, just so they don't try to go in the barn, but not too far away from the rest of my people.
Okay, got it.
Just to just kind of shoot out 30 feet and then go Hey, over here.
And you see that quick movement right as you get about 15 feet out. You're able to make it that 30 feet out of the barn. And it's almost when you kind of start to break into a little bit of a quicker pace that from the field of wheat you see two figures quickly running, and then on the other side, kind of catty corner to where the house is, a third one running up to the group. At this point, I think we need an initiative, and we'll get
Need an
that up.
initiative. Yep, and then I'm gonna need distances. Oh Lord.
The initiative.
Yeah, I can't roll initiative tonight at all. I mean, I really shouldn't complain because I've rolled other things really nicely, but initiative, wow, no, not my night.
My initiative is not adding my D8. So it's 10 plus a D8. Hold on. Okay, 12 initiative. Wondered why my initiative was so low. It's not rolling appropriately.
Okay, let's back this up a little bit here. All right, so over here, this is the barn, and that's the house over there. And then we have up here, coming out from the wheat field. And then as well, one coming from over by the cart. All right, and then we definitely need to change the vibe. It's coming. Okay, and then how's that volume level for you, Lisa? Is that still okay? Not too loud or too quiet?
It's good for me.
Okay, got it. Cool.
That's the song that makes me panic, though.
Uh-oh.
It would have been really funny if you had pulled up the Jurassic Park theme.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, can't play that one on stream, but it would have been great.
Yeah, I figured that was probably true, but...
That would have been so good. Okay, all right. Winnie, what was your initial? You said 12?
Yes, 12.
And Professor, how about you?
16.
16, got it. And then Gloriel.
11. I can't complain about because I've been rolling really well on other things.
Sure,
But my
yeah,
initiative
yeah.
is ooh.
Okay, all right, so... All right, so first off, at the top of the initiative is the first clawfoot. This one is going to move its speed. And here. All right, so we've got... And it is going to use its action to dash. Get right up. Actually, you know what? It's not going to go quite all the way. It's going to still use its action to get further, but not all the way up. Second one. We got two of them before the group. That one can get up to Winnie. So it's going to use all of its movement to do so. All right. So first player turn. The professor, you are up first. What would you like to do?
You see the tree to, I guess, if I'm facing the one in the blue, which I think is L'Oreal.
Yes.
Am I right?
Correct. So you
Gonna
got
just
this one over
jump
here.
behind that, and then actually, no. I'm just gonna throw the 2 psychic blades at the orange thing, which is the orange one.
The one right next to Winnie?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, got it. Go ahead and roll the attack.
Squeeze. Here we go. 17 to hit.
Check that. I think that hits though. It does. Yeah, go ahead and roll some damage.
20 psychic damage.
Ooh, boy, very nice. You see it kind of give a
And
weird
16 to hit for the bonus action.
16 also hits. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage on that.
For 8 psychic damage.
Nice. You see it kind of take this psychic damage, and it seems to slow it down as it's moving. It gets close enough to Winnie to where it's almost reaching out to bite, but you can see it kind of stumble off of this psychic damage.
That's my turn.
Okay, got it. All right, Winnie, you are up next.
All right, Winnie's gonna cast web, and she's gonna see, can she get the green and the orange one in the web together?
What's the area of effect on that one?
It is a 20-foot cube with a 60-foot range.
I would say, yeah, 20-foot cube. Let me see here. Actually, I think if it's 20 foot per side, technically you could get the tail of the one that is right on you. So I'd say, yeah, you can get web in both of them.
All right, I'm gonna cast web on both of them.
All right, what's the save for that?
It is a Dex 17.
All right, the one right next to you is going to go first. That one gets a dirty 20, so that one is going to save.
Okay.
The one behind gets a 12 total, so that one will fail.
That one fails. It is difficult terrain,
Okay.
and I don't know what happens if he saves. Not much to him. It's difficult terrain for him regardless.
We'll put that on there for that one. I don't have a web ring, but that'll do.
That's it. But the one that's caught up in it, that area is difficult terrain, and the one that's saved, I don't think anything happens to him.
Okay. And is the one who didn't save restrained?
Is restrained, yes.
Restrained. Okay, got it. Okay. Anything else for your turn?
I'm gonna stand pat because I'm right next to him. Got my mirror image. I'm good.
Okay. All right. Then the third one is going to go next. It is going to go this way. This one's going to take more of a loop and come around that side. And that's going to be its turn. Gloriel, you are bringing around the initiative. What are you doing?
Okay. See, the web is concentration, but actually the web itself stays up, so I'm not going to flank with the orange one like I'd originally thought.
Okay.
You know what? I'm just going to step up two squares and take 2 great weapon swings at orange.
Okay. All right, go ahead and make...
Recklessly.
Got it. Make a couple attacks.
See, that's why I can't complain. I just, that's a crit.
Nice. Yeah, natural 20. That'll definitely hit.
Okay, so let's see. That's 24 slashing damage plus another 10 for the Great Weapon Mastery, then 9 radiant damage. So
Ooh.
43 total damage.
All right, yeah. So that is. Go ahead and flavor that fatality for me on that one, because that is splitting that one in half.
Yeah, I feel like the axe actually starts to glow with radiant light of the Luxon.
Exactly. Yeah, you feel that divine energy flowing through the axe as you make this attack for sure.
And yeah, I just go for the neck, and I think I chop its head off.
Yep, that's exactly what you do. You, as it's going for Winnie, it kind of gets slowed down in the web just a bit, and it's reaching out for a bite at Winnie. And right as Winnie, you see this thing 6 inches from your face, Gloriel's axe comes down and just cuts the head off, stops it from biting you right in front.
Oh, thank you.
Welcome. And so that was 10 movement to get there. I have 40 movements. I'm a barbarian, so.
Oh yeah. It is difficult terrain with the web though.
Yeah, don't go in the web. Bad things.
Oh
happen.
no, I was seeing if I could get down to the one to the south.
Oh, this one? Oh
Yeah.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and I think I do have enough movement to get all the way up to it.
10, 15, 20, 25, and you went 10. Yeah, so you do.
Yeah, so I'll take my second attack on it.
Okay, go ahead and roll an attack.
That is a 24 to hit.
24 will hit. Yeah, go ahead and roll some damage on that.
It's actually 12 damage, and the last one would have been 2 extra ones because I forgot about the rage damage. But with the
Okay.
rage damage, it's because it mattered.
It's extra bad.
Yeah. I forgot to hit it with my fury.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right.
And
Anything else for your turn?
I had forgotten to do the Great Weapon Mastery, so
Oh shoot. Okay.
it's just actually I would have hit anyways, but it's fine. I didn't say it, so it is 12 total damage.
All right. 12 points of damage as you kind of swing to the side of this thing. Just give it a nice knock as it's running towards you, dude. Anything else?
That should be it for me.
Okay, got it. All right, back up to the top of initiative. We've got this one here first. So it is in difficult terrain, so it's double movement.
But it has to make
Oh, yes, that's right.
use its turn to make a strength save to break free.
Yeah, that's pretty big. I'm not going to lie. That's pretty big because it is well within range.
Yeah.
All right, so, and what was your DC?
Turn making a strength save against a 17 DC.
17 DC. Okay, let's see. All right. That's going to be a dirty 19 total, so it will
Right.
save and break free.
But that's his turn.
That does take his action. Let's see. It's no longer restrained, so it does still have its movement for the turn. So, actually, you know what? It is going to stay there. Yeah, it is going to stay there.
It can use its action to do it. Doesn't say anything about its movement, but it's still difficult. It's still there, I think, and still.
Yeah, it's still difficult terrain. It's still double movement
Mhm.
to get to you. They are pretty fast. So in this case, though, without its action, it is going to stay where it's at. Which would take us back to the professor.
Okay. I'm gonna just throw the blades at the one next to Gloriel or Barbarian,
Okay.
and we'll see what happens.
Okay, got it.
11, that misses, I think.
Yeah, 11 misses.
Another 11. All right.
11, double
That's my turn.
11,
All
yeah.
right.
So as it's running, you try and throw the daggers, and it just kind of does these like little leans. And it's not like a full like jump out of the way, but you can see it's using its tail to balance, and when it comes, it can just lean its body in a very far dip and dodge out of the way with the dagger. Okay, anything else for your turn?
No, that's all.
Okay, all right. Winnie, that brings us back to you.
Winnie is not happy with these things. She's going to try Tasha's Mind Whip.
Ooh, very nice. Okay. And that was an intelligence save, if I remember correctly?
At 3rd level.
Okay.
They may both make an intelligence 17 save.
Ooh. Oh, God. They're...
Hopefully they're dumb. She's counting on that.
And it's a 17?
DC 17.
I'm not going to roll. They cannot make the save.
Nice.
Their intelligence is low enough that they cannot make the save.
All right, so they both take some damage, and then other things happen as well. All right. They both
Yeah,
take
they are not smart creatures.
12 points of psychic damage.
Okay. Psychic damage is the name of the game today.
Yeah, Winnie. Well, she's a Time Lord, so that's what. Damn. All right. So on their next turn, they must choose whether they get a move, an action, or a bonus action. They get only one of the three.
Okay. Very interesting. Okay, got it.
That's one of Winnie's big guns.
Okay. Big, yeah, for sure. Controlling that battlefield. Anything else?
She's just gonna stand there. I don't move where. Stand behind the barbarian. I don't know.
Right. Okay, got it. All right. So after Winnie, it is going to be the next Ancient Clawfoot's turn. It is going to choose an action against Gloriel. It is going to attempt to make a bite. And I believe, at advantage for reckless. Yep. Okay, so that is going to be a total of 24 to hit.
That will definitely hit.
Okay. And that is going to be total of 12 points of piercing damage as this clawfoot mouth just comes down and clamps down on your arm as you're trying to block it.
Reduce to 6 for the rage.
Yes.
Roger that.
Okay, and given that it has to choose, it's kind of doing this weird shake of its head, trying to figure out what's going on. That can't move or take a bonus action. So that will be the end of its turn. Gloriel, you are up next.
I'm recklessly making a couple of really big swings with my great weapon.
Okay, go ahead and roll those attacks.
25 minus so 20 to hit.
Yeah, definitely hits.
Wait, it is minus 5 for the Great Weapon Mastery, right?
Yes, I believe so, yeah.
Moment of doubt, it's like, I think I'm doing it right. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is 20 to hit. Gotcha. 13 plus 10 slashing, so 23 total slashing, and 7 radiant.
Nice, so 30 total? Gloriel, flavor another fatality for me. You are cutting through these things, quite literally.
So I sort of, I jab forward with my axe and uploaded the head, which stuns it, which is already pretty stunned from the from the mind whip, and then I whirl around and sink the axe into its side.
And you go in, and it just gets like, you get the full one side of that great axe head just like buried in there completely, and with that radiant damage kind of burning through the axe, rather than having to pull it out, it just comes back out like a copper, and that one falls to the ground dead.
Okay, so I will move up to Winnie, but I do not want to step into the web.
Sure, got it. And you just want to go up next to Winnie?
Yeah, I think that's as far as I can get down.
Okay.
Risking the web.
All right, anything else?
That should be it.
Okay, so real quick here, as this commotion is going on, the two of you see that grabbing two bows, the two who were inside the house have come out now and are looking to seize this opportunity, given that weapons have been drawn and the situation is getting out of hand with a corpse of a dead companion here out in all of this mess. They rolled really low though, so that would be so. Back to the top of initiative, we have got the Ancient Clawfoot here, the one that is left. Now it does have Mind Whip still, I believe, so it's gonna have to choose movement or action.
Yes.
Oh man. Given everything.
That is the wizard equivalent of nanny nanny boo boo.
No joke at all. Full control over the battlefield here from Winnie on that. That was big moves against these things, not letting them get in those attacks and turns. That's huge. It is going to choose to use its movement, and it'll go 5. That'll take 10 to get there, but after that, it won't take extra movement because the web had to be up front a bit more to hit the other one. So it'll pretend to go 5.
Yeah, it's just on the edge of the web. Yeah, it's going the way that's not difficult terrain, but that's fine. You can go after this.
Yeah, and it looks like it's turning tail and running. And that's what it, at least for now, that is what it seems to be doing. And was that just the next turn for that Mind Whip?
Yeah, just one turn, not forever.
Got it. Okay. All right, that takes us back to the professor. What are you doing?
Well, I think I'm just gonna. I'm gonna move up, and because I think that's a little more than 60 feet. At least it looks like it.
To the raptor?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd have to get up a little bit past Winnie and Gloria.
Yeah. Let me do that. I have the movement for it.
Yeah.
And
Winnie will go ahead and drop the web as soon as she is able.
Okay.
yeah, and then I'm just gonna huck the 2 blades at it.
Okay, go ahead and roll some attacks.
That's 26 to hit
Yeah.
for 6 damage. There's no sneak attack because there's no sneak attack. So that's 6 damage, and then another one. It's a crit.
Ooh, nice.
But I don't get sneak attack, so it's psychic 12 damage.
12 damage. Okay, got it. So you see, basically, as it's running away, it stumbles once a little bit, and then after the second hit, stumbles even more, almost trips over itself running away, but it seems to be looking pretty hurt. All right, anything else for your turn?
That's all.
All right, back to Winnie. What are you doing?
All right. It's running away. What are the people there that came out? Are those myriad people?
It looks like the 2 people who were in the main entry chamber when you 2 had run off.
That the ones that were saying unkind things or
Yes, exactly.
And what are they doing?
They have bows, and looks like they're wielding them ready to shoot.
Us or the lizard?
It kind of seems like they're still deciding.
I see. All right. Well, I guess for the moment, I will shoot a firebolt at the lizard.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll an attack.
Right. Let's see. 14.
14 is exactly what you needed to hit.
Okay. Do a little bit of damage there. 11 points of.
Oh, that's exactly what you needed. Flavor that fatality for me, Winnie.
Oh, well, it's a little mote of fire just goes and just hits him in the butt and explodes, and he goes up in a ball of flame.
And the professor's psychic damage kind of causes it to trip and like slow down for just a second. And you see this opening, and you do so. You throw that firebolt, and it just goes, and you see the fire kind of pierce the flesh at the backside of it under the tail, and then move all the way through, almost like it's spouting fire as it falls in its last grip of death here. Almost reminiscent of a dragon blowing fire out of its mouth as that firebolt goes out the front.
So for her bonus action, Winnie gives the professor a high five.
Nice.
Hey.
Okay, got it. Anything else for your turn?
That's it. She's gonna be watching those mirrors.
Wait, if mirror image is still up, do I high five the right one?
I don't know, probably not.
Roll.
Yeah, you
I
gotta
try
roll
to
for
high
it. You gotta
five it,
see.
and I go through it and stumble forward a bit.
That's awesome. Okay, got it. All right, Gloriel, that brings us to you.
Okay, I am within 80 feet of the bowman, right?
I
think.
believe you are. You are exactly 80.
Okay, I am actually going to play it somewhat safe. I'm going to run 40 feet up and take out a javelin, toss a javelin at the closer one.
Okay, yeah, go ahead and roll an attack.
This is what you get for being mean to Winnie. Sorry, I have to use these first time
Oh,
I've
no,
used
it's
these.
totally okay. Yeah, yeah.
16 to hit.
Yeah, that hits. Go ahead and roll some damage.
6 damage. Do I get range bonus on this or not? I'm honestly not sure.
I believe it's just melee attack.
Okay, yeah, wasn't sure one way or the other. Cool. So 6 total damage.
But what I'll do, I'll double check after the session, and if it's different, we'll roll for it next time.
Okay, yeah, it's all good. Yeah, 6 damage and I'm done. I just wanted to make sure that I didn't risk my rage dropping if they shot over me.
For sure, yeah. And that javelin hits, and you just kind of see him yell, "Ah!" as it lands in his shoulder, not deep enough to go all the way through, and he pulls it out and throws it to the ground. Anything else for your turn?
No, I should be done.
Okay, got it. All right, with that, then they are at the bottom of initiative here, and they are both going to be taking their longbow attacks at L'Oreal, who's running up, throwing javelins at him. All right, first one here is going to be that's a 16 to hit.
That will not hit.
That will not hit. Okay, all right. Second one is even lower. Second one is an 11 to hit.
Nice. AC is 17, just as that.
Okay, got it. So as you're running forward, you throw this javelin, and they pull it out and both reach up, take shots at you, and the arrows just land on the ground as you, without fear, while raging, move forward towards them. That takes us back up to the top, and with the raptors out, Professor, you are up next.
All right, I'm gonna let's see, that 30 feet of movement. So the tree just behind Gloria, I'm gonna move up to that.
Okay.
Is that 30 feet?
I believe it is 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna hide behind it with a bonus action, like
Sure.
duck down and
Go ahead and roll that bonus action high just to see what that number
19.
looks like.
19.
Yeah, definitely good. Yep.
And then I'm gonna pop out like surprise, bitch, like Rick James from the Dave Chappelle thing. And then I'm gonna psychic blades one of them if they're within 60 feet, which I think they are.
I would say they should both be. Let me double check. The one that Gloriel hit already would be. The other one you'd have to move
Okay,
up. Just
perfect. Then I'll do it at that one.
Okay, got it.
Let's see what I roll. Oh, that's a crit.
That one is.
There you go.
Yeah, with sneak attack. There you go. Exactly. Yeah, go ahead and roll all of the dice for this one.
Yeah. Okay. So wait, there's more. So it's 20. Hold on. Why didn't it roll that? Okay, so that's 22 plus 10 is 32 points of damage.
Nice. Yeah, go ahead and flavor that fatality for me on that, Professor.
He just drops and you don't even know why. Just very sudden.
The second case of the drop dead bandit here with no explanation, just psychic damage.
Yeah, no explanation, no marks,
assaulting their
nothing. He
brain.
just kind of collapses. It's very confusing.
And the one next to him just turns, what the fuck? What the fuck? Just like super scared now. The look on his face with everything going on, seeing the raptors here, they are looking pretty scared. Anything else for you, Professor?
No, that's all.
All right, Winnie, up to you.
All right, Winnie's going to run up 30 feet just so she doesn't get left too far behind.
Okay.
And then I don't know what to do with this one. When in doubt, firebolt.
Firebolt it is. Go ahead and roll some damage on that.
11 to hit.
11 does not hit, unfortunately. Yeah, they don't have great armor, but enough that that just kind of they raise up their cloak and block the firebolt from really dealing.
Attacking isn't really her strong.
That's okay. There's been lots of other strong suits in this combat.
Other folks.
Yeah.
Okay. Anything else for you, Winnie?
I think she's just gonna monitor things from.
Okay, got it. Gloriel, you're up next.
I'm going to run up as close to him as I can. I'm not 100% sure if I get all the way or not. But either way, I am actually going to spend my action saying, surrender or die.
Yeah, give me an intimidation check with advantage.
L'Oreal, presumably your strength is greater than your charisma, right?
Quite a bit so.
DM, I'm gonna ask for something, and you're the DM, so you don't have to say yes to it. But sometimes when I DM, I allow for like it's one of the variant rules, like strength-based intimidation checks, if you feel that's appropriate.
Oh yeah, for sure.
If she like flexes her muscles or something as part of like the act of intimidating.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah, it's totally up to
appropriate.
you.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. Sure.
Okay, well in that case it's a 22.
22, very nice. They kind of drop the bow, put their hands up. Fine. And with that, we will say we are out of initiative order.
We have some people to question.
I'm just gonna walk up to them and take the weapons. Make sure the what's it called? The one who's dead is definitely dead. Oh, hello, friend. How are you feeling?
We tell our friends in the barn it's safe to come out.
Okay, got it. And you have the psychic connection with the monk, so that's
Yeah, and bring the tied up one in there. We have 2 people that we can question.
Yeah. So I say
and
to
the
him,
professor. Yeah, you were saying that.
is he standing?
Yeah, currently standing.
I kick the back of his knee so he like doesn't stand anymore.
He has a look on his face that's very obviously angry about the situation that's happening, but is not resisting. Kind of a slow, like, fine, just kind of instinctually puts.
And I
hands
bend
behind
over
the
just
head.
a little bit, and I lift up, like I put my finger under his chin, and I lift it up so he's looking up at me, and I smile, and my bright, blinding smile, very charming. And I say, "Hello, friend. How are you feeling today?"
Worse now.
Yeah, I can see why you'd feel that way. Well, I have good news. We're going to be best friends in just a few minutes. How do you feel about that? Don't worry. Don't answer that. Look. And telepathically, I'm telling the others, all right, what do we want to know from him?
Well, what the Myriad wanted and what they're doing and what they're after. And what they know about hey,
friend, how about you just give us a rundown of why those people were tied up and what you wanted to do with them?
And how much of a risk they're still under.
And how much what?
How much of a risk they're still under for the Myriad if there's going to be follow-up visits from more Myriad members.
He kind of looks into you while kneeling down. We got another team coming later today to pick up some more of the cattle. I'll probably bring a cart full with grain. 4 or 5 of them. Won't be anything too tough. We were here looking for something that the farmers had. A weapon of some sort. Suzeth. And he kind of gestures, gives a nod over to the barn. Suzeth knew more of the details than I did. They're just supposed to be here to intimidate and kill anybody who got in our way.
So you're something of a mercenary then?
Something like that.
You wanted cattle and grain for what?
That's what I asked him then.
Yeah,
Unless you were saying that to him, Winnie.
I mean, I can say it to you and let you ask him. You're a better asker than me.
Okay. So then I just repeat the words.
Myriad's got to eat too. And after all, has more of a focus on that sword.
What do they want the sword for?
Hey, friend, why don't you tell me about this sword? It sounds real spiffy, doesn't it?
And he kind of looks a little hesitant. I would say roll an intimidation check. Give me just an intimidation check on for a little extra.
Okay. All right, that's actually not. I'm really not good at that.
14, but today
14.
I am.
Okay.
Yeah. And Winnie will help by putting her hood down and giving him a big bugbear grin.
Okay. That's enough that he says something about artifacts up north. We've had contracts in the area to look for artifacts in the north of the Zemi Fields. It's something to do with looking for more of them. It would lead to more of them or something like that.
So, from your perspective, the plan was you come here as hired muscle, you tie up the folk, you question them, maybe they tell easy, maybe they don't. And they tell you about this weapon, and you go get it for your boss, and you get a handsome paycheck. Was there anything else? Or is that about the sum of it from your perspective?
Kill anybody who gets in the way.
Well,
Seems I failed there.
Well, lucky for us. Now you've got a new friend. And I smile again.
And he says, yeah, and nods over to the halfling corpse sitting about 50 feet away. A new friend who tears people to pieces.
Wait, that wasn't me. That was the Velociraptor, I thought.
He doesn't know that.
Oh, yeah, that was the Velociraptor. I don't know if that makes you feel any better.
What do you know about the Velociraptor?
Oh yeah, speaking of which, hey, you know anything about these Velociraptors? Did your boss tell you anything about that?
Just what the fuck's a velociraptor?
This big
Ever see Jurassic Park? Michael Crichton?
Yes.
It totally transformed the industry with the clay. Okay, no. You uncultured swine. What do you do with your mercenary money?
I have no idea what
Okay. How do I describe to him a Velociraptor?
You just gonna pick the body of one up and drag it over or something.
Oh, I'm not that strong. The L'Oreal can do that.
Yeah.
No, not if there was something that Suzeth knew about, she'd tell us.
Okay. Well, here's the deal. You're gonna sit tight, make yourself nice and comfy. I take off. The dead guy next to him, is he wearing like a jacket or a cloak or something?
Yeah, he does have a cloak on.
I take off the cloak, I wrap it around him. Stay nice and warm and snug for me. You know, I take his dead friend's thing and put it on.
Right.
Stay nice and warm and snug for me. I'm gonna have a quick chat with your boss, and once we get everything we need, I think you should just fuck off, and we should never see each other again. Doesn't that sound great?
Sounds real good to me.
Yeah, it certainly does. All right, stay put, buddy. And I give him like a little pat on the cheek. That's a little bit hard. It's not quite a slap, but it's like it makes him uncomfortable.
Just disrespectful enough.
Just to be a little disrespectful. And then I telepathically talk to everyone else, and I say, all right, where's this boss lady? Should we bring her out now?
Yeah, and where exactly are these artifacts they're referencing?
I think the boss will know. This guy, I don't get the sense that he knows this stuff. He's just, I mean, look, he's a piece of shit because he's a mercenary, but like, there's a kind of neutrality about his piece of shitness that I sort of respect.
All right, let's talk to the boss. Maybe she'll know.
Yeah. And then the monk, there's a lot of people here. The monk's name is what was it?
Arceris.
Arceris. I knew I started with an A. I say, hey, Arceris, can you bring out the boss lady?
Gladly. Is it safe out there for everybody?
Yes, it's safe now.
Fantastic.
Yeah, this asshole. Just because he's a bad guy does not mean he's a bad guy.
Yeah, there's different ways to be bad, you know. Anyway, Glorial, do me a favor. When I talk to this boss lady, stand behind me and look super tough like you always do. It's just gonna help. Just be like, here, show me the angry eyes. Show me the angry eyes.
I show him my war face.
Oh God, that's terrifying.
Yeah, Professor, you're like, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Please don't hurt me. I have grandkids. I have 12 of them. That's so many.
You want me to help? And Winnie sticks out her ears and does a big cheesy smile. Kid trying to be scary. You want me to help?
Winnie, just you being here is always helpful for me. Okay. Good war face.
So after probably about a minute or so, the family comes out and they start to move towards the farmhouse. But Arceris walks forward with the one that is now known, or that you now know, is named Suzath. And it looks like that as they walk Suzath over, she's still got the fur cloak on and everything, but has kind of a look of like she just got woken up very abruptly after being knocked out. Also very abruptly, and kind of has a little bit of a wide-eyed look of like, my head's not super all here. But she's being walked out by Arceris, hands still tied behind the back, and she brings her over and kind of throws her down to where she lands on her knees in front of the professor and Gloriel and Winnie.
I say to her, hello, ma'am. What is your name?
Fuck you, that's my name.
Oh, come on now. We're all friends here, aren't we?
Smile again.
Rude people.
Ruzara is my name.
Uzara. It's a lovely name. Okay. You hungry at all? Well, I guess I'll take that as a no. You know, I figured there's no reason not to be hospitable, at least, right? We're just here for conversation. Anyway, you know what I've heard? Through the grapevine? Oh boy, get a load of this. You're going to love this. There are some artifacts out here. How does her face react when I say artifacts?
They're roll an insight check, I should say.
Insight, yeah. I try to read her face. 6, but I got the psychic thing that can make it a little better. 6 plus 7 is 13.
Okay.
Hey, that's a pretty good boost.
That's definitely better. When you look, it's the eyebrow that twitches, and it almost looks involuntary, but a twitch starts kind of at the edge of the eyebrow that you see is moving, and the face is very stoic, but that's...
So she knows something. Okay. Yeah, how about that? Isn't that fun? Isn't that exciting? So I was thinking, you know, because we're such good friends, maybe we could just have a quick chit-chat about artifacts. How does that sound, huh?
Still quiet.
Hold on 1 second. My dogs are barking in the background. 1 second. I'll be right back.
Meanwhile, I'll say Arceris comes over to Gloriel and Winnie and is kind of discussing a bit and says, we can have them...
Okay, they're very, very needy. Anyway.
Arceris was coming over to the group.
Just leave it, I'll get it.
Saying while this is happening, saying we can interrogate them if you would like, but the Kobold can take custody of these two.
I don't know about the mercenary, but let me have a few more minutes with this one.
She kind of just nods, understood.
We'll work that out later. Okay, you're not in a very talkative mood. I get that. And just if it matters for your sake, DM, what I'm about to say to her is a lie.
Okay.
And I note that telepathically to the others.
Okay.
I say, look, friend, you're in a tight spot, but it's okay. Because you know what friends do? They get each other out of tight spots. So here's what's going to happen. We're going to find this artifact together, and whatever it's worth, we're going to split it. I say, we want in. I mean, you've gone through a lot of effort to get it. Seems like it's worth something. So I just got to know what we're doing. I want to know what's at stake.
Okay, I'll say roll a deception check with advantage. Yeah, deception with advantage here, I think.
Okay, I don't know why I tried that because I didn't take proficiency in deception, but
Can I look at what was it roll?
I rolled a 17, and I just
A
I say to them,
17.
"Look,
Okay. Pretty
I know that
good.
means less of a cut for you. I know how that can hurt. I know what money's worth in this business. But isn't it at least good to keep your life? Let's not, there's no need to be stubborn."
She kind of gives a look around to the three of you. The simpleton farmer wouldn't give up his sword. It's needed to get the artifacts. How do you expect to get around that?
When there's a will, there's a way. That's what my wife used to say.
Fine. You get the sword, I'll take you to the cave. It's far north, it'll be many days' travel, and we split whatever we find, 50-50.
So the sword is in a cave?
No. The other artifacts that the sword unlocks.
Ah,
The sword opens up. The sword is not just a sword, the sword is a key.
naturally.
And if you take me to its lock, I will split whatever I find with you. I will run off into the sunset, never to be seen again, and you can do whatever the fuck it is you all want to do.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, friend. And I smile at her, and then I tell while I'm saying that, I telepathically talk to everyone else, and I say, "Well, I don't know. Do we need anything else from her? I mean, that kind of sells it, right? Aside from the location of the cave, I guess."
Yeah, I mean, the cave in the far north isn't that specific. Can she
True.
draw a map to it?
All right. Yeah. So, friend, I'm going to take out some paper. I don't know, we'll just get some paper, since I don't have some, right, for a draw. I'm going to say, I can get us the sword, which again is another lie, because I have no idea where the sword is. I have ways of finding information. I'll get the sword. Just draw us a map of the cave, so when we get there, we'll know what to expect.
Gonna raise his hand. So you can kill me now. That information is the only thing keeping me alive, friend.
I mean,
I will take you to the cave, and if there's any other arrangement or anything that you'd like to do, well, then I will deal with the Cobalt Soul, and she nods at the monk, or I will deal with Ophelia Mardoon. I do not care which at this point, but I'm very eager to be done with this.
oh, you don't like my company? But I'm so charming.
And you see her breathe a big, deep breath, and it's like all of her restraint to not yell at this point. But
Yeah,
she knows the
I
situation
don't
she's
people.
in.
Telepathically, I'm letting everyone else know that if the Cobalt Soul feels that they need to get more from her, they can take her. If we care about this, I don't really... I mean, she's right. Like, there's no reason to give up any more information, because that's her only bargaining chip. The mercenary... I don't know. I don't think we need to kill him. I mean, he's a piece of shit, so if you want to kill him, that's fine, but... I think...
At least I'm perfectly happy heading over to the Cobalt Soul. But then
Yeah.
deal with him one way or the
Sorry,
other.
the name, DM. A, it starts with an A. I'm gonna get it.
Arceris?
Arceris, I say. Yeah, what's the Cobalt Soul angle here? How can we help out? You've been good to us.
I think we simply need to get them to the ruins of Schottengrad. We are about 5 miles north currently of where the ruins are. Now that those creatures are dispatched and not hunting anything, I think it might be a bit safer travel. But if you help me return them to the ruins, then I think that would be the quickest option to get them into the custody of the Cobalt Soul. We could also travel up a bit further. It would be about a day and a half travel, but there is a new settlement here in the Zimni Fields called Hope's Bastion.
What a lovely name. I'm
The
gonna
group
talk
is
to
going
the...
to continue to look into the lizard birds, yes, because I think it's outside our scope to try to figure out what the hell's going on here, but nobody seems to know, and I do hate to leave these farmers just exposed to giant carnivorous lizards.
You make an excellent point. I'm gonna talk to the mercenary again. I feel like I've got one of the boss lady. And I say, Oh, dear friend, you'll have to excuse my manners. What was I thinking? I never asked for your name.
He kind of gives a look up.
You can make one up. I don't need it. You know what I'm saying? Like, just something to call you. I don't care if it's a real name or not.
Jarek.
Jarek. I sit down next to Jarek. And I lean my head on his shoulder. And I say, so, Jarek, tell me about your mercenary skills. What do you bring to the table?
He just kind of looks. My bow and my daggers is what I bring to the table, and the willingness to do things that others won't for gold.
All right. Anything else?
And he kind of sits and thinks. I can whittle sticks.
Okay. Good to know. I do a little boop on his nose when I say good to know.
Okay.
And then I walk off, and I telepathically say to everyone else, like, I was kind of hoping he'd be more useful, but he's just a guy. It sucks. We could have, I don't know, maybe he could have been useful to us, but he's just a guy. Like, I don't know. This is pretty disposable. I don't imagine he got paid much. You know. I mean, look, if I were to hire a mercenary, right, I would need more than just some guy with a bow, right? I mean, this lady, like, she doesn't pick him real good. I don't know. Something's off. Anyway, that's a dead end.
Can I go talk to Savos?
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. He isn't around right away. He'd kind of gone into the farmhouse pretty quickly to kind of check the state of things. But he is back out and sets something wrapped in cloth down by a wall. And you approach him, and he seems very much more relaxed now. And as you come over, he kind of gives him comments. Can't thank you enough for what you've done for my family.
Oh, that's our pleasure. I knew they weren't farmers as soon as I met them. They were so rude. I knew something was wrong.
Yeah.
Is this the sword?
He kind of looks at the thing and he holds off for a second and says, we had a deal, I believe. I've got notes. I've got other copies. But this includes some of the information. 3 generations that we've had of people here on the Gorberin farm. My father and my grandfather all farmed this land, raised animals on it. You talked about learning about what we know. You talked about seeds. Well, here. He takes out a book. It's not super thick, It's not, big tome thick. But it's a good journal, a good 100 to 200 pages. And you just kind of leaf through it real quick, and it's descriptions of different things grown in Zemni fields, what works and what climates and types of soil needed, types of fertilizer needed for the different things. And he kind of hands over another bag. Some seed samples for you, too. For a fellow farmer, I assume.
Thank you. My family will be very glad to see this. Our conditions aren't as favorable as yours, but I'm sure we could learn something.
You have to forgive me for my initial suspicion. I've never seen a bugbear before in person.
Yeah, I guess I'm told we're a little rare outside of my country. But there's a lot of us where I'm from, and it seems normal to us. But anyway, is that the sword you have that you were talking about?
And he kind of tilts his head a little bit. It almost seems like he's trying to put off a little bit the next part.
May I just look at it?
Yeah. And he grabs it and holds it across his 2 arms. And it's just in cloth right now. But he places it over his arm and pulls back the cloth and shows you a very, very nice long sword. It is a little bit of a curved blade at the top. But what is really very kind of stunning about it right away is it almost seems to have like this the metal itself almost looks like ice. It has these flecks in them that seem to kind of give off this vibe of snowflakes and ice all at the same time. The blade itself, and even in the it's not super cold out right now, but there's a little bit of like fog coming off this thing as the air around it seems to be interacting with the actual air around the fog here. And you look at this very, very ornate handle with the head of a like a white polar bear, basically, is what you would recognize. And Winnie wouldn't, but just to give a description, it'd be like the head of a white polar bear on the bottom with a kind of intertwining golden blue handle that kind of twists up it. And as far as Winnie goes, it's probably one of the nicest blades or weapons that Winnie's ever seen. It is quite well made, very well crafted, and you can even just hear sense a bit of a magical glow coming off of it.
The Myriad seem to believe that this is going to unlock a gate in a cave in the northern Zemnian fields. What can you tell me about it?
There is a cave in the mountains on the coast, up west of Ice Haven by about 20-30 miles or so. The cave is just a normal cave on its own, but anybody who wields Frostbringer, they can step into the true depths of the cave. And it is meant as some kind of old proving ground of some sort. I don't know exactly the details. My grandfather was the one who retrieved the sword in the first place, but he speaks the truth, or rather, she speaks the truth.
Okay. It's on the coast west of Ice Haven by 20-30 miles. Can you show me on my map?
He looks at you.
I feel like we've got to get there before the Myriad do. They say they mentioned the Mardoon family. Are they important?
At the Mardoon, he just gets a face. Yeah. She's taken over for some of the... Rather than just having things split up, she's kind of taking control of things in the area. The Empire.
So she's kind of like the den leader.
Yeah.
Oh no, you guys have dens too.
Well, they're not the kind that help others or are good citizens of the Empire. They are the ones who take what they want from others. And Ophelia Mardoon takes what she wants.
Does it feel that it sounds to me like she might not be the kind of person who stops until she gets what she wants.
Yeah, and they've been searching for artifacts here in the Zemni Fields. Rumors of something up north, tunnel systems that have been found by various people who get lost. Some are found, some are just left missing. But they've been looking for powerful artifacts for the past few months, as far as I can tell.
Oh. Yeah, I'm afraid that this kind of thing is spread even beyond here, and I don't know what to do to stop it other than to beat them to it right now.
If you think it's worth doing, then you can do so. But if you keep the sword safe, then they can get to it. So that's your choice.
We'll try to get that artifact before they do.
Yeah.
So I guess Winnie will ask him to pinpoint the location.
Okay.
And,
You pull out a map, and he kind of points his finger there. You take out a quill and just mark the dot.
Thank you. And I guess she'll sit down and go ahead and... This is such a beautiful blade. And she'll ritually cast identifying.
Okay. And as Winnie sits down to set up the ritual and learn about Frostbringer, this very interesting, very well-crafted blade with the two captives of the Myriad and a new friend in Arceris, the Cobalt Soul Monk. I think that's a good place to end the session for the day. Woo! I gotta tell you guys what, you handled those raptors very well. Those were built to be pretty beefy, and that was
Yeah, it turns out when your party hits a bunch and your martial characters, it doesn't matter. They just die.
Yeah, all right, that was great. So thank you to everybody watching the VOD or watching live now or VOD later. There are 2 spots still open in Sanctums and Spies. We got a party of 5 now, a couple players who weren't able to make it today. But that being said, we will return next week with the next chapter for this party, and maybe even we'll get a name at some point. But we'll catch you next week. Thanks for tuning in.